Yeah, you listen. You don't get this. No, you ain't crossing T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. Fire! 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 No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. Now come and take a look through my perspective. School of hard knocks and struggling was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cock the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells were projected. My mind protected, I stay focused, boy, if you ain't noticed. When it come to my thoughts, I'm an S63, you just a lotus. Your brain small and compacted. That's why you contracted to a big-ass record label where the pay's lacking. But you ain't know that, too late to go back. I'm at the end of Roy G. Biv, where to go at. I paint the picture, you can keep the Kodak. My chariot awaits, I think it's time for me to go back. Back to the realm, building with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. Dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the erase. Nickel. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. They try so hard to keep me blind, but thank God I can see the light. Wanna keep me in the dark, but now you can see me shining bright. Now come and take a look through my dimension. A young God, I just came down from my ascension. Protect the 12 tribes, guessing I just lost prevention. The type of things I'm seeing, guessing that I shouldn't mention. If I don't talk, then I believe in you up in the dark. Hate shaking up and saying that they use the heart. I'm thinking, what's the motive? Killing parts of mankind. The type of shit that make me blow up like a landmine. So I collect my thoughts and build it with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. The dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the erase. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. Nickel. Sincerely yours, Mike Burner. We consciously ignorant. Campaign. Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze, let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Fire! 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 Snap that bitch up, Mike.
Yeah, truth can't be told, it gotta be realized. The truth can't be told, it gotta be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Can't be told, it gotta be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't, it ain't legalized. Realize, realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Real eyes, realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Real eyes, realize. Realize. Yeah, slavery was a long time ago. How? Same motherfuckers still here right now. Colonized on our land, they ahead of us. Changed our name so much, they scared of us. Children of the sun, y'all don't compare to us. Pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Talking about America, pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Even up the playing field, bitch, I'm darn. How you a victim, bitch, you a Karen. Cognitive dissonance, you don't need sperm. You got white privilege, so you don't need sperm. Looking at my homeland, man, I can't believe her. Colonized came here, they ain't never leave her. Indians ain't die off cause we here. You ain't gotta lie, just say you won't be here.
Snap that bitch up, Mike.
Yeah, truth can't be told, it gotta be realized. Truth can't be told, it gotta be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Can't be told, it gotta be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't, it ain't legalized. Realize, realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Real eyes, realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Real eyes, realize. Realize. Yeah, slavery was a long time ago. How? Same motherfuckers still here right now. Colonized on our land, they ahead of us. Changed our name so much, they scared of us. Children of the sun, y'all don't compare to us. Pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Talking about America, pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Even up the playing field, bitch, I'm darn. How you a victim, bitch, you a Karen. Cognitive dissonance, you don't need sparing. You got white privilege, so you don't need sparing. Looking at my homeland, man, I can't believe here. Colonized came here, they ain't never leave here. Indians ain't die off cause we here. You ain't gotta lie, just say you won't be here. How you American but not indigenous? 400 years still ain't get rid of us. All Europeans, naturalized citizens, made all the Indians niggas on the census. 1492, we was on the fences. Civil rights movement, we was so defensive. Black Wall Street, whites got so offended. Common law rights gave us amendments. Thank God don't speak truth, that's alright. First slave 1619 was all white. 1200 wasn't no continent, all white. Europe named after a black woman, alright. Grafted, it come from us, do your research. Go within, quit listening to the teacher. And the Nuki got voice coming out the speaker. Cut our trees down and made us weaker. Really they foreigner, the shit gets deeper. Whites don't know where whites come from either. I'm Aboriginal, we come from the ether. Ruling over us in our land, that's evil. Being colonized right now, black people. Prisoner of the war, that's why it ain't equal. Wake up everybody, don't be no sheeple. Freedom ain't free, really freedom is illegal. And we can't get mad at this. Whites act like we can't see their advantages. Privileges real, they working in management. Low down dirty, but they calling us savage. They want you to think they above us. All white people are part-time judges. I ain't no racist, but I ain't no sucker. I ain't no African, but they my brothers. Been lied to, I got built up anger. You built everything, still waiting on the savior. Don't call yourself black, please do me that favor. Black family will protect you from a hater. Listening to your oppressors is dangerous. Gave us the Bible and stole our nation. Said we couldn't read what we didn't know the language. Kept us on paper because we didn't see the danger. American Indian, keep the religion. Skin copper color look just like a penny. Wanted our land and you called us stingy. Ain't no Democrats there to gotta pay attention. We got ancestors, but the papers is missing. Kings and queens, we just can't remember. Remember who you are, just like Simba. Now they got a vax, we don't want that in us. George Washington is the ninth president, look it up. United States only 10 square blocks, look it up. White people really the minorities, look it up. Courtrooms don't got authorities, look it up. You want me, say stop governing me. Gave me a straw man, it's really not me. Why you don't keep it 100 with me? Why Trayvon killers still walk around free? Made this song for the truth, don't hate it. History was told in reverse, I stated. Reach to the press, somebody gotta say it. I'm taking out of school, that's the reason I made it. That's the reason I made it. This ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems. That man, the spell is broken, y'all. See how we gonna do this?
Listening to Super Play, let's go.
Shit ain't what it seems. Look. This ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. This ain't what it seems, this ain't what it seems. Life ain't what it seems, life ain't what it seems. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. The spell is broken. Finally we can see. The spell is broken. We free. DJ Khaled voice, we the best. Can't dwell on it cause we manifest. I got tough skin, bulletproof vest. You say you for the people, put you to the test cause the spell is broken. People looking sad, I'm just in my bag. Only time I'm not here is playing tag. We ain't come off a boat, they big mad. They ain't give it to a straight zigzag. Get your lick back, say you did that. I once gave a fuck, I had to get it back. Can't get it back, you gotta live with that. Your government is crack, get out of here with that. Now we know who we are. They mad, they know we a star. They lied, they owe us a car. Really, they owe us the land. Recruitment, they owe us some bands. Wanna help, you owe us a hand. You silly, I know who I am. I'm an Indian, I don't give a damn. Why take problems with none of the perks? The system ain't broke, we don't know how it works. The ops ain't gonna tell you the ops is some jerks. The ops really obstacles, we was here first. I'm spitting this scripture, they call it a verse. We fit the description, they call it a curse. It's fucked up. We was really fucked like both ankles. When they try to help, I'm like, no thank you. Trust them and they gon' flank you. They ain't conquer nothing, but they did snake you. Don't sleep near me cause I will wake you. I'm really woke like pills make you. You show me love and I feel grateful. I'm not a hater, I don't feel hateful. I'ma say something, hope it reach the nation. Less appropriation, more appreciation. God created us, y'all a recreation. When you say Caucasian, all I hear is Asian. I'm a truth teller, I'm not an agent. Truth teller, I'm not an agent. I'm not foul, but the fouls is flagrant. When life's a world stage, right is right, wrong is wrong. We know that we can police our own. This shit ain't what it seems. Life is but a dream. Who's ever doing the asking is asking. Now we know who we are. They mad, they know we a star. They lied, they owe us a car. Really, they owe us the land. Recruitment, they owe us some bands. When they help, you owe us a hand.
I've been building miles, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is.
Fire!
I've been building miles, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building miles, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. School of thought, I was building mounds. All I did was dig. Now I'm building pyramids. Mama, look at what I did. Cut off the leash, took off the hook. The world brainwashed off of just one book. Same book, told my mama turn the other cheek. Don't bring me no beats, that shit get cooked. Did my research, found out my worth. Shit, I own everything on earth. That's why the Elohim with the young God like me to cast off who the rocks, pussy, knockers in the dirt. Master ceremony, listen what the God say. Manifest life off of what I say. Better sound D-I-A-Y-A. Pour up the liquor, then I say I shake. I've been building miles, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building miles, not a mouse. Turn the pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid.
The moment you realize it's people that you love that you're gonna have to leave behind. I was told out. Look, we at war, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though. Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though. Could've completed, but you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted. And knowledge is medicine, knowing you need it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you cheated. You think I'm conceited, I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Everybody can't go though, beat it. You was ascending and starting to win. No pretending, actually win. Low vibrations, boxing you in. Who keep letting them toxins in? All my people are toxin us. Everyone on our toxin land. Ancient like cosmology. I am the source, I go within. I can't go unless I go to win. Really a God supposed to win. Anyone that's trying to get with me, just start doing the most you in. Trying to turn up, it goes to 10. Blood type O, you almost in. Minarchin, we all go in. G, I'm a Maroon, we all go in. Bring me the water, but can't make you drink. No, I'm not here to just make you think. If anything, I'm here to just make you fight. It's all lost, just make it right. Everybody ain't with it. Let me tell you, I don't like reading. Freedom ain't free, you broke, I get it. Let me tell you, you don't like breathing. Can't even wake you up, you sleeping. Niggas are sleeping, scalping season. Some of y'all sleep through all this treason. Government beefing, now you vegan. Need autonomy, really don't need them. Now we rise, this house is freedom. Really gonna hurt my heart to leave them. Really gonna hurt my heart to leave them. This is simulation or a cycle. They be hating on you for survival. That's why I don't mess with the Bible. Ain't nobody tribal going viral. We original, we hold the title. Lot of work to do, how you idle. Ain't no false idols in they Bible. We ancient for ancient in Ohio. Say what you want and do what you do, but I'm starting to get, I don't know about you. Gotta go within, can't go on YouTube. If you think you know, you ain't got no clue. Say what you want and do what you do, but I'm starting to get it, I don't know if you do. Gotta go within, can't go on YouTube. You thinking you know, you ain't got no clue. War, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though. Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though. Could've completed, but could've completed, but could've completed, but could've completed. America, 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 with you the long way. America, 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 with you the long way. America to marry, America to marry, America to marry, America to the long way. America to marry, America to marry, America to marry, America to marry. treating me like you cheating on me. I got an SSC and they leeching on me. They done went under the bleachers on me. All you wanna do is tax me. You ain't even really asked me. Ain't no full disclosure. Made me feel like it's over. We ain't break up, no closure. We ain't get no domestic. Is you foreign or domestic? Respect it or you can check it. I care about this country. I care about this country, but this country ain't got no love for me. It's treating me all monkey. On the boat is how they got here, and just look around, it's a lot here. They really put down the plot here, but they birthrights, it's not here. I'm from the soil, copper colored. I ain't black, no crude oil. Thinking about this two-door. America, 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 America.
Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came.
Yeah, you listen to Super Plays.
DJ Super Plays. It's in the mix.
Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happen to you? White man quick to tell you was a slave, nothing before. But he himself only been free since 1840. Don't record it. I'm an ancient Egyptian from Atlantis, headed straight for Canada, that's Israel. Nothing fake about me, no capping, rapping. I just fed the ink and I'm digital. No caveman, I'm original. Kentucky fried, extra crispy. Wear a lot of gold, cause my family history. I'm the guy to know, I bring death to history. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day.
Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the kick. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100, let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't tryna penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit, dog, you benefit. Took her on a dinner date, now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog, we ain't tryna integrate.
Fire!
Yeah, you listen to Super Plays. Let's go.
DJ Super Plays. It's in the mix.
Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the kick. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100, let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't tryna penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit, dog, you benefit. Took her on a dinner date, now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog, we ain't tryna integrate. Man, we ain't tryna integrate. Was broke back then, now the youngest seeing different kick. We don't go off feelings, we just make sure that the business straight. And if you ain't an intellect, then you can't get a penetrate. Local need you, now I'm getting love all in different states. Gotta need you, if you ain't got scars, then you can't relate. Preach to niggas, I'm just trying to make sure that my people straight. Woke nigga in a sleep world, trying to keep awake. Man, I'm just trying to keep awake. Bodies dropping in my city, damn Perry, keep awake. How another black man, your op, make it make sense. When the system got y'all niggas going through the same shit. Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the kick. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100, let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't tryna penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit, dog, you benefit. Took her on a dinner date, now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog, we ain't tryna integrate.
Enemy of my tribe, of mine, so what's happening? Government and all y'all cross the line, so what's happening? My ancestors wouldn't like you cross the line, so what's happening? We original, y'all GMO, y'all lying. I do this for my
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Enemy of my tribe, I offer mine, so what's happening? Government and all, y'all cross the line, so what's happening? My ancestors wouldn't like you cross the line, so what's happening? We original, y'all GMO, y'all lying. I do this for my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche. Oh yeah, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche. I do this for my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche, my Nietzsche. I do this for my Nietzsche. Should've left me where I was, cause I ain't never scared. Took that little ice off my neck for this Earl head. My nation, my Nietzsche, someone thorough said. Real Americans, still pure blood, we thoroughbred. I'm like, let my people go and just take me instead. When it's red or blue pill, I'm only choosing red. I'ma always choose my people, you can keep that bread. Our government owe a trillion, you can keep that bread. If it's one thing Jim Crow is showing me, I don't want no white folks ruling over me. I don't want no politicians ruling over me. I don't want no po-po ruling over me. Only somebody just like me gon' treat me like me. I'm Iron Wire Cherokee, the chief and Dr. G.L.E. I'm still a G like DST. You might not be as G as me. You think you free, but you need remedy to be as free as me. I'm from the hood, I'm still waking up my people. They got us good, they still hating on my people. When it comes to fashion, the whole world wanna be like us. When it comes to music, the whole world wanna be like us. When it comes to dancing, the whole world wanna be like us. Foreigners are doing everything, trying to weaken us. Sports, y'all can't fuck with us. Rhythm, know we killing y'all. Anything involve a ball. Mentally, we figured out the cosmos. After all, inventing shit, we smashing y'all. It's time to take through asking y'all rights by blood after all. Vatican and the Smithsonian got all our shit. Artifacts and relics still keeping us away from it. When they say that was a long time ago, that's racist shit. Y'all holy land keep stolen shit. We don't need y'all holding it. Reverse engineering our technology, controlling it. Gave it everything you got, but you can't put no soul in it. I ain't go see the new Matrix cause I'm living it. Everything is not what it seems, but I'm killing it. Can you afford to pay attention who you living with? Now they trying to mandatory vax, but is you getting it? Fall back off my Nietzsche, I'm peeping y'all tactics. This ain't no Earth war, this shit is galactics. Goddesses and gods warming up like practice. We gon' put arrows on your chest like Pat. Bangalores can't style like us, them fake natives ain't wild like us. They ain't got a soul, destiny as a child like us. Nobody power like us, nobody peace pipe like us. Boxing, y'all can't fight like us, nobody lost they right like us. Wake 'em up, wake 'em
So dope, my eyes slow. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and shine those. Crack open the land pads that go with the town.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze. It's in the mix.
Tap in. Tap in. Let go. Come on.
Yeah. Rhyme so dope, my eyes low.
What do you say?
Move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and shine those. Crack open them land patents, let go with them town.
We turning up tonight, you heard?
What's a native to a native?
Huh?
$5 dough if he not melanated.
What do you say?
Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation.
What?
Yeah. God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He made someone before him in divine image. It's you with God of Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. And from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats.
No.
Bible, our spirit, English potted on our homes.
Come on.
Tribal families turn on us. Don't act like y'all don't know.
Don't act like y'all don't know. We're gonna find out tonight, right?
Fuck up like they grudges.
What do you say?
We was something turned to nothing.
Come on.
And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of angels, fresh up out the oven.
What you say?
It's the message to the black man.
Come on.
It's the message to the black man.
Hey, tap in.
Message to the
Shout out
black
to everybody in
man.
the chat.
It's the message to the black man. Shooters on the roof, lawyers in the coop.
Come on.
We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof.
Blaze.
This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Bang, bang, bang.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here, Maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plot murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments, tribe to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lucy. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding broochies. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black force is the same color the European. Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. Discontained in the 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination controlling our situation.
Come on.
Ain't no indoctrination from pale faces.
Well, you never find white aborigines. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You can have aborigines, but you don't like it because aborigines.
Okay, let's go. Tap in, tap in. Blaze. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us tonight, man. You already know what it is. We got a good one. We got two special guests with us. Obviously, you know, big show, big show, big show. Turn up, turn up. Let me get some bombs. Get some bombs real quick. I gotta get some more bombs in the building. Get some more bombs. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You already know what it is. For all my local folk, you already know 561 coming down 954-305. Obviously, I'm gonna shout out Broad County, Lottie Hill. You already know what it is. Music Media Lounge. We'll be live in the booth. www.com. The Music Media Lounge. Here, I say I put them in the, I put it in the middle. I'm gonna say it again. www.musicmedialounge.com. Just in case you didn't catch it. And obviously, at the bottom, you see the atomusparty.com. You already know W's go in front of it. Tap in with us, though. And you're going to tap in with us tonight for this good show. Once we going to play one quick joint, though. Shout out to Tecumseh. And, you know what I mean? He got this production, what is going on. And we putting our heads together. We got a lot of crazy stuff coming. Creativity and content for our folk, for this kind of information. So we're going to play that real quick. And after that, we're going to bring our guest up. We're going to get right into it. It's your boy, Mac Gaither, Thriller Campaign, the Autonomous Party. We'll be right back.
Did you know that the foundation of the Black Codes, also known as the Black Laws, were originally inspired by King Louis XIV's Code Noir, an edict issued against Black Jews in French colonies that went alongside with the Edict of Fontainebleau. The edict made official the policy of persecution that was already in force since the Dragon Age. For those who don't know, the Black Codes of 1865 restricted Black people's right to own property, conduct business, buy and lease land, and move freely through public spaces. These codes allowed free people of color to access the legal system, marry, own property, and contract employment. In the courts, however, marriage between different races was punishable for both whites and blacks by life imprisonment. Limits were also placed on former slaves' ability to own property outside of the cities, and therefore to move from the cities and engage in their own farming or land ownership became infinitely more difficult. For more interesting facts like this, please like, share, and subscribe.
Please like, share, and subscribe. You already know what it is. So everybody in the chat, share this out. Get some folk we know that. Shout out to who we gonna be talking about tonight. When it came down to them Black Codes, they definitely were the ones that rebelled and fought against it. But loosen up my yacht Seminole tie, my Muskogee joint. So you know, we got to get into some things. Let's pull up our guests, man. I got our guest first to the stage, Dr. Anthony Dixon, and obviously Zarian. You can pull up Zarian too. Yes. Peace to both of y'all.
What's going on,
y'all. Man? How y'all doing? Peace to y'all.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Appreciate
Thanks for having us in, man. I love the music, bro.
Appreciate that, man. That's what we've had to do. Get people
man.
You know what I mean? Well, when they coming in. So when they coming in, they can feel the energy of what we getting ready to talk about. And the music got to kind of match what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? For the young generation to the older generation, it got to kind of be fused. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, Dr. Anthony Dixon, that's Zarian, by the way, Zarian Hadley, producer and director of Black Seminole Project.com. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about. And he introduced me. And in fact, before Doctor even says, so I guess I'm going to put the doctor after you. real quick. Zarian, I met you on Fanbase, and I got to give a shout out to Fanbase. It's how I met you on that social platform. And you know, the room I had was Black Indians. You know what I'm saying? Maroon, Seminole. You know what I mean? I came in when you met me off that. The room title. So you came in off that right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you got on stage, and we started, you know, have our discourse about the comment, what the title was about, and what we was about, the Autonomous Party, as you're now knowing. We cover this type of information. We got people that's in this community, and that obviously self-identify with these different terms that we call today. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about, and such as myself, and we wanted to, you know, have more of a conversation. You actually right there on the spot said, you know what? I'm a call Dr. Anthony Dixon, and you put him on Fanbase at this like within minutes. And I'm glad it happened how it happened. I'm telling people organically how I met y'all. And God, it's not like I've known y'all a very long time. You know what I mean? We connected based off of what we both were into and information that we're both covering. So that's how it happens. Like minds come together for a reason. And I appreciate y'all for definitely you know, coming up and pulling up on us for this conversation tonight. And with that being said, Dr. Anthony Dixon came on, and he you know, obviously was like, yeah, man, I'm doing this and that. Y'all got this going on. And before I let the doctor go into the things, I want to ask him some questions about on your side of it, though. And obviously, because I met you first, I'm gonna do it in that order.
Okay.
Can you tell people a little bit about your background, producer, director, and how you got into this situation?
Yeah, I originally hail from Cincinnati, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Born in Tuskegee, Alabama. My people's from Thomasville, Georgia. My bloodline, as far as my father's side. My mother's from Taipei, Taiwan. So I got a whole nother side in me as well.
Deep.
So I've always grown up with a diverse background, a diverse perspective, you know, and I've just seen, you know, growing up in this country, we see what this country is great, but it's horrible at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So we have to figure out how to navigate through the frame, you know, and I started off in doing music, you know what I'm saying? Like my parents, you know, had me doing piano when I was young, and then when I got older, I really wanted to be like a Dr. Dre. You know, I spent about 15 years, just going after that, man. And then I kind of evolved and was like, you know what? I think I want to be like Quincy Jones, you know, because I got into filming, you know, in Ohio for a little bit, and I was like, damn, you know what? I love that because I played football my whole life too, so I always been a warrior. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Wynwoods Warriors out there who I just went to the game the other night. But I went to California, man, and just said if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it in a mecca where entertainment is huge, you know. So I got out there to California, Los Angeles, you know, and just grinded, man. And you know, 20 years later, I've worked on so many different projects. It's one of the big ones that one of my calling cards is Hell's Kitchen. I worked on that for like 10 years. A lot of competition reality shows. Worked on black shows. I worked on Kevin Hart's Next Level on Comedy Central.
Okay.
Tons of like promos and just different things where I get a chance to see how the machine works. But what I didn't like was, I mean, it was a point I was making $500 a day, but didn't like going to work, bro. And you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, right? When you make $500 a day, but I wasn't culturally satisfied. And I wasn't key and all that with the folks like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this don't fit me, man. So what I did was I kind of disbanded from that whole movement, but I took what I seen and I was like, I want to tell our stories. That makes it meaningful for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then to see how they're using media to keep us, you know what I'm saying, socially engineered to how they want it, what they thought they did. You know what I'm saying? When the internet came out, that changed the whole game, right? But anyway, so I really became mastering how to tell our stories from A to Z with our own resources, you know. So now here we are, you know, this is a story. This is another story that I want to tell. And every time I do a production, I want to keep going up. I want to keep going up. I want to keep taking the bar up because I believe in the Most High. You know, whatever we put before him, you know what I'm saying, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? As long as you believe, You know,
have faith without work is dead, though, right? You know that, right? You know what I'm saying? I said faith without work is dead, but you got to have the faith, but you got to do the work. You know
you
what I'm
gotta
saying?
have
That's
an
how
undying faith, bro. You gotta be willing to lose everything, bro, to really get what you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you kind of can see who's with it, who's not. Everybody's not there. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, I want people who see the vision. You know,
for sure.
And you know, I mean, that's a little bit about me right there.
I bet that, man. I appreciate you, and once again, I appreciate you for introducing me to because y'all team. You know what I'm saying?
That's my partner.
Yeah,
man.
so y'all team. So I want nobody thinking y'all separate. Y'all together. You know what I'm saying?
One love.
It's just how I met y'all. It's just how I met y'all and how it worked. I'm gonna do it in that divine order. You know what I'm saying? Now,
sure.
You can pull up Dr. Dixon on the big screen so everybody can ask him a couple questions so everybody can just get familiar with both of them. So Dr. Dixon, Dr. Anthony Dixon. Can you give a little people about your background of where you're from and what you're about, how you became a doctor, if you don't mind first?
Okay, I try to make it short.
No problem.
No, I was born and raised in Fort Valley, Georgia, and I came to Florida when I was young and attended Florida A&M University.
Bam.
Yep, FAMU, baby. FAMU forever.
Rattlers out there.
And so
rattlers out there.
I when I was an undergrad, I first just got into any major that I thought was gonna bring me money, right? As we all do when we're young, right? You go to college, you think, oh, this is my chance to make big money. So I started out in business, and I went from business to business econ to electronic engineering, tech, anything that I thought was going to bring the money, but it just wasn't me, it wasn't working. And so I had, one of those come to Jesus talks with my mother and father who was like, look here, we're not going to keep wasting money with this, And so my mother told me, listen, history has always been your favorite subject. You've always done well in it. Don't worry about all of that other. Go with history. Let's see what we got. And so I took that intro to Afro-Am history, and that was it, And so I graduated, and then years later, little things happened in between time. That's another story for another time.
Right.
But I returned to college. I returned to FAM in 2000, and I got my master's in applied social science, concentration history. And so I came across this story because I was always interested in resistance to slavery and oppression, not just how we survived, but how we actually resisted. And so from there, I was blessed. I will admit it. God blessed me. And when God gives you those blessings, you got to take advantage and you got to run with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was blessed with the opportunity to go to Indiana University, and I got my PhD in history, major field African diaspora, minor field African history, because I had done African American history in undergrad and master's. So I did African diaspora history and African history. And then my outside minor was special collections and archives, right? Because as a grad assistant, I kept having to go to all these different museums and libraries doing research for these other professors, and I just got interested in who was keeping our stuff, who was keeping our material culture, because whoever keeps that stuff gets to control the narrative. They get to control what stories are told. And let's call it like it is, right? Let's call it like the TI is. They get to tell their truth and our truth as they see it. And so I went on, I finished my PhD, and here's a key thing about two key things there. When I first presented the the subject and the topic of the Black Seminoles and the Second Seminole War, they asked me what did I plan to find or uncover that was different from what was already written, because there were so many things written on the war. There were even books on the Alabama volunteers and the Tennessee volunteers in the war. But I told them probably nothing. And so they sat up and was like, well, why are you doing this then? And so I explained to them, I'm doing this because even though it's clear and it's in the records, you know, it's historically accurate, it's in the records, that the Black Seminoles and these runaways who joined them were the primary objective at times. And their leadership and involvement was at the utmost level. Yet no one has looked at this war from their perspective. And so they all sat back and said, okay, go ahead, you know. And so when I finished, they talked to you about, you know, how to turn it into this book. And that means how to turn it into this academic book. And so I never had any thoughts of turning it into an academic book. Because I felt, and I still feel that way, and it really is, academia writes for academia, you know, and that's not who needed to hear a story. Our people needed to hear, every person needed to hear, you know, this story of self-reliance, self-empowerment, and above all, Black unity. What happens when Black people can really come together.
Right.
And so years later, I always, again, wanted to turn it into a movie. So years later, though, people told me, if you really wanted to do that, you still got to write the book first. That's the best route. So I said, okay, but I'm still not writing an academic book. And so I turned it into a public history book where I just told a story, you know, from the Black Seminoles and the runaways and the Florida Maroons perspective. And so a few more years went by. It began to gain popularity and notoriety over the years. And I've been invited on different shows. And so Brother Zarian saw me on the Rock Newman show, and he contacted me. And I told him, okay, fine, because I had heard it before. That's fine, let's see. And I asked him, had he, you know, read the book, finished the book? He was like, nah, man, I'm telling you the truth, I haven't read the book. So I was like, listen, read the book first, then come back and talk to me.
That part.
So I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect to hear from him. If I did, I was like, well, maybe in a couple of months I'll hear from him. He actually called me back within like a week or so at the most, week and a half
Zarian?
at most.
Zarian, you read the book in a week? You read through that bad boy. You're like, I am not playing around right now. I need to talk to this man. It's like reading the script though, right? Because you're going to do a project, like how I guess he reached out to you. He needs to read the book in order to understand whatever, you know what I'm saying?
It was almost like
right.
It was almost like a, you know, like if you're serious, you're gonna read the book and holler back at me.
Right. I would think it'd be the same way, because you in what you do in your profession, if somebody was going to be an actor and they're going to take the script, they got to know the script. They got to read it and say, yeah, I'm interested in playing that role. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to me, right?
Yeah,
so,
but you'd be surprised. A lot of people fall short of that. They probably, you know, he say that, they, like he said, nobody ever really came back and be like, yo, let's, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And so he came back and we talked again and we ended up talking for hours. And so we took it from there, brother. And we decided that we were going to do both the documentary and the film. You know, the documentary will focus on the Black Seminoles. We'll look at their history from a regional perspective. But then we will talk to Black Seminoles about their present condition, their situation today, and what are their issues that they're facing in each region and collectively. And so the thing about it is, I want to say this, and I'll turn it back over to you.
No problem.
There are a lot of documentaries now that are looking at the Black Seminoles. We've been watching them for almost a year now on the different ones, but my issue is still the same issue that I had when I was doing work, and what's really the first premise or the first step in African diaspora studies and Black studies, that is providing this voice to the voiceless. And so the issue was we were watching all of these different YouTubes and things of that nature, but it was always somebody like me, this academic person or this qualified person who was talking instead of letting Black Seminoles tell their own story, tell their own perspective, give the real insight. And so that is what is going to be different about this documentary from anything that has been done with Black Seminoles, is that the largest voice in this is going to be Black Seminoles. We're already up to about, probably about 18 to 20 people that we've either done clips with or done full interviews with already. And we really aren't halfway there yet.
No, not at all.
In terms of what we want to get. And so we've also made our primary point contacts for each region. We're going to continue and make them producers so that they will have final cut, they will have final say on what is being told in this documentary. So Black Seminoles are driving this documentary, not the academia, not the quote unquote specialists or people like me, but actually Black Seminoles. We are just going to provide the platform and the guidance on how to do it at this level. But they will tell their own story. They will talk about their present situation. And we even have young Black Seminoles that are talking about not only just elder Black Seminoles, but young Black Seminoles who are talking about how they see the future for their people and themselves.
I want to say something to you, because you're talking to a person like me. I feel like in real time how I met you, and you said Black Seminole. I think I fall into that understanding of, terminology. Like, I'm gonna say a couple things about it, because how it could be so vast in how this term is laid out, and there's so many dynamics to it. And I guess in genealogy matters. Shout out to my man Opie Mia and all my genealogists out there. Because this word Seminole has been taken out of context, I think, too. You see what I'm saying? Have you noticed how there's so many different situations when you have interviewed people that's labeled Black Seminole?
Yeah,
in their situations.
I agree, but I agree to a certain extent. I must admit, brother.
No problem.
And that is because when you look at the origins and you look at the history of Black people, Black Seminoles and their origins, right? There really was two nations within a nation in Florida.
That's what I mean by that.
You had the Black Seminoles who did have Native American heritage.
Right.
And some of them did belong to a clan, which meant their mother was Native American.
Oh, I'm agreeing with you on that.
And
we're not disagreeing at all. We're 100% on the same page with that. That's the problem I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Right. You still had those Black Seminoles, though, that had Native American fathers who didn't belong to a clan, but the culture was still intermingling. And it was a full intermingling of culture in different facets, right?
Right.
The black fashion taught the Native American how to actually farm in only one area, because up until that point, they were subsistence farmers and they would rotate and move throughout the region. But as plantation society and whites began to take their land, they were forced to live in one general area. So it's blacks who taught them how to rotate crops and things of that nature in one area. And then on the same token, there's Native Americans who taught the blacks in the Florida Maroons, who developed into the Black Seminoles, how to hunt the wildlife, how to fight alligators, how to eat alligators, how to fight and get the other wildlife that were edible. So they helped each other survive. You know, it was a true coexistence.
Right.
And so then there's also cultural things, right? We have a young, hopefully we'll be able to get her interview and interview them actually as a couple. We've already interviewed the brother. The brother is from a Florida Maroon and Black Seminole heritage, right? But he has his whole life, he's intermingled because he has that Black Seminole heritage. He's intermingled with Native Americans all of his life. And so now his wife, he was girlfriend, but now that they live together, as far as the Native Americans are concerned, that's his wife. He now lives on the reservation with her. He lives on Big Cypress. And so she is a direct descendant of Osceola. And she has basically given the idea, not only given the idea, but basically enlightened people to the younger generation of Seminole Native Americans who are now more open to talking about their African ancestry, right? The fact that they know some of their ancestors are Black. And they even talk about cultural things like the basket weaving technique. The basket weaving technique that you even see the Seminole Native Americans with, they are now, the younger generations are now openly admitting and discussing the fact that they know they got it from the Black Seminoles. The Black Seminoles got it from the Florida Maroons. The Florida Maroons got it from the Gullah. The Gullah brought it from the west coast of Africa, primarily the Crew people. So even Native Americans, young Native Americans now openly discuss their African ancestry and ties with culture, with the basket weaving being a primary one.
Actual question. Can you say that for the people one more time? What is the name of the people you said that came out of West Africa from your research? That you said Crow?
Crew.
You said Crow.
I
want to make sure people heard that right.
Right, and there is a documentary that you can watch called Family Across the Sea, where some Gullah people went back to Sierra Leone, and they went back into other parts of West Africa, and they actually took their baskets and they gave it to a woman in Africa, and she just picked the basket up and started using it. And then they told her afterwards where the basket came from, and she was amazed because she thought it was just a normal basket that they use.
You know what? It's very interesting, man. That's why I want people to hear that part of it. I want to show something real quick because, on our show, we usually go through sources. And I know you dealing with Black Seminole. We got your website getting ready to come up too, but I want to throw a couple sources around before we ask you guys to break down the website and how people can. We also want you to go into the book because I see you got that book behind you.
Yeah,
I see you got the book behind you. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to present the book part 2. But I want to some of the things you said. I did have some sources prepared because this is how we do our podcast, right? We like to let people engage on this level because people are learning from what we got going on too. Can you pull up that joint with Osceola? Because you mentioned I'm not going to even go with the order I had, and I'm going to go off the conversation in our organic conversation. And it was using certain sources based off of it. This is the Osceola joint. Yeah, slide down real quick. Yeah, this is it. All right, so interesting enough with this, I've used this one because people go back and forth, and some people might not know. Even the pictures they might show. I don't know if people are familiar that Osceola also his name he was born with in Tallahassee. You know what I mean? Cause I went to, we both went to FAMU. We're like alumni, even though I ain't graduating a lot. But still, in the manner of Osceola's name, stop right there. Billy Powell. So Osceola was also known as Billy Powell at birth in 1804. It says in the Creek village of Tallahassee, known as Tallahassee, Alabama, in current Elmore County. It says the people in the town of Tallahassee were mixed blood Native American, English/Irish, Scottish, and some were black. Billy was all of these. That's Osceola right there. He's a mixture of all these combinations.
Yeah.
He has European, he has West African, he has Indian. He has all three. He's triracial. All right. So of course he comes out more dark, or we would call more tawny looking. I ain't gonna say, he's definitely not a pale skinned person. But at the same time, he's a free person of color in its category we put it. And then funny enough, it says his daughter, his mama, was born Polly Coppinger, a Creek woman, and his father was William Powell, an English trader. Polly, and that's why I messed up. Polly was the daughter of Anne McQueen and Jose Coppinger, because the Creek have a matrilineal kinship system. Polly and Anne's other children were all considered to be born into their mother's clan. You mentioned this. That's why I used this first. I heard you just say what you said, and how you said matrilineal, the clan, the mama, or also the father, and how the clan thing worked. That's how I know y'all really been, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all on, I want people to know that y'all on y'all shit. I see it. I mean, make sure people know it now. And then they come right into that and say, that either way, Anne McQueen was also mixed race Creek. Her father, James McQueen, was Scot-Irish. Anne was likely the sister or aunt of Peter McQueen, a prominent Creek leader and warrior. Like his mother, Billy was raised in the Creek tribe. So when you brought that, what you think about that? You can pull him back up. I just wanted to read that about, because you mentioned Osceola, and I had him prepared for the conversation tonight. A lot of people talk about Osceola because he's famous. You know what I mean? His head got cut off, and they buried his body in the, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff tied to him. You know what I'm saying? So what you think about that? And just
okay,
like that, Doc.
You know, I want to make a quick comparison. Let's talk about Osceola though, right?
Go ahead.
Because I've even caught a little flack because I didn't have all of Osceola's background down pat before. And I explained it to them because I purely looked at the Black Seminole and Black Seminole culture. Osceola indeed had a mixed heritage mother, and he himself, like you said, was triracial. But because he belonged to a clan, Osceola grew up in Native American culture.
Right.
He was Native American. He may have had African ancestry. He did. He also had white ancestry. But because he belonged to a clan, he grew up in Native American culture. Now, let me give you somebody that his best friend was the opposite, right? Who grew to be his best friend was John Horse or John Carvajal, right? Or Gopher John.
Gopher John.
Now, Gopher John, John Carvajal, John Horse, right, was the opposite. His father was a Native American chief. He was a chief. His mother, however, was black and considered part of the Florida Maroons or the Black Seminole side.
Facts.
Therefore, he did not belong to a clan.
Right.
Therefore, he grew up primarily in Black Seminole culture and Florida Maroon culture. And he was even considered a Black Seminole by both the Native Americans as well as whites. Whereas Osceola, who did have Black heritage, because he was in a clan, though, through that matrilineal line, he grew up as a Native American.
Right.
And so I try to get people to understand it's really nothing new under the sun, right? Even in today's society, you have a white person and a black person that have a child together. At some point, that child chooses which culture they are going to primarily associate themselves with. Now, back in the 1800s with Osceola, though, of course, he didn't have a choice because he was in the matrilineal line and he belonged to a clan. So he had to do what they do in a clan. He had to participate in the rituals. He had to do all of those things. It's just a different time now where they have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the same thing. When they have a multiracial background, they choose a culture which they identify the most with. For John Horse and Osceola, it was chosen for them because of the way that the entire culture to which they were born in set those rules.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still the same
Gotcha.
ideology, right? That
Right.
you're going to choose one of those cultures that you most closely identify with. And we see it every day, right? I saw a thing on some of these biracial actors. Some of them don't claim their African heritage. And most likely it's because they were raised in white American culture. They were raised in white American society, and that's the culture that they closely want to be identified with. Then you have the ones like Rock, right? Who chooses to be claimed African American. He places his African American mother in the spotlight with him at times, right? And so it's still that same ideology, right? It's just that in this day and time, the children have the choice as they grow up.
Free will.
You know, Colin Kaepernick had the choice. And he chose to be black. You know, that was what he felt most comfortable with and associated with.
It's fine. It's interesting that, you know, certain people, like you said, in this day and time, do have the right, and people do get like socially on platforms. I've watched it happen. People try to tell you, no, you're not, because you say, hey, I more relate to what my mama raised me with. My mama was closer akin to her tribal background, and this is the way she lived. But on paper, obviously in the system, you know, called black today. You know what I'm saying? But my grandma raised me this way, and she gave me these things, and she told me who she was, and it wasn't just black. She, like you said, will go back to a tribe or something like that. And some people will try to discount that. But as we just broke down both of the individuals, John Horse, literally, who I got people down here that's related to John Horse, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, people who I know, Billy Powell, I know some people in the central area that got the last name Powell that's kind of connected to this situation too. You know what I mean? That surname, you know what I mean? But it's black folk when I'm saying Powells that I know today. But either way, where the names come from and the mixtures of people today, at one time we have the right now today, luckily, I would say in America, culturally to say, hey, I'm more relate to this. But we know at one time our people were kind of we know for a fact from being able to do so. You know what I mean? And it's kind of related to actually dealing with the Black Seminole term. Can I get the museum joint yacht Seminole? Because I know people like to say Seminole, and that it comes from the Spanish Cimarron or Cimarron, which goes back to the Maroon. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all my Estelusti, Macario, indigenous people out here. Is that the one? Well, yeah, that's the museum. I want to go to the museum we have down here and their website real quick. See, yacht Seminole, though, even though they try to tell us what the Spanish related the Seminoles in comparison to a Cimarron, which goes back to Maroon. See, yacht Seminole, Y-A-T apostrophe S-E-M-I-N-O-L-I, yacht Seminole. That term, I'm gonna read it though. I'm gonna let everybody go. This is the museum right up. You know what I mean? Go down a little bit more. Go right here. All right. So what's gonna say here is the Seminole people are descendants of Muskegon. Shout out to my Muskogee out there. Speaking peoples who lived in the valleys of Appalachia or Apatoly. It says, and the Chattahoochee rivers. By the way, the first Creek Confederacy is the Appalachia. It says, pressured by a white settlement in South Carolina and Georgia, some chose to migrate south to Florida, where the Spanish colonial government welcomed them as trading partners. Having been divided by geography and circumstance from their ancestors, by the 1700s, the Indians of Florida came to be called Cimarroons. That's that word, maroons. By the Spanish meaning wild ones. They thought of
Technically
themselves
wild beast, but they won't say
wild
wild.
beasts.
But technically it was
Yeah.
wild beast.
Like cattle. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did, like literally, like
It was a
pigs,
little more
like boars.
derogatory than they make it nice now, but it was a little more derogatory. I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother. I just love what I do.
No pressure. That's why I got you here for. I wanted to be like this. I want to engage with you with this. And then it says they thought of themselves as yacht Seminole. And they're comparing it to all free people. So, yacht Seminole is compared to free people. But the Spanish and people, or maybe the Union later on, when we fighting with them in the Seminole Wars, they're gonna say, hey, those people are runaways, they're rebels, or any derogatory term that could be used to degrade these people that are resisting against being colonized by a foreign system and trying to keep their traditions and keep their lands and doing what they're doing. What you think about that, Doctor?
Well, that's true. And also, semolina, right, was the term that Creeks held, as opposed to yacht Semolina. They would just say semolina. And so as things go on, you have these different versions of the same word and describing the same people, right? Because then it turns at some point to Cimarron. And so the English rendition is Semoran. And I actually live less than a half a mile from Cimarron Boulevard here in Orlando.
That's right.
And so Cimarron, Semoran, is that English rendition. And then by 1754, they start writing Seminole, which is still the English rendition of semolina. You see, so they were using the same terms, to describe the same people, and then the terms just began to change as it goes through the different languages, right? And even the languages themselves change over time, right? We don't speak the same English that they spoke in the 1600s. The same English that was spoken in the 1800s wasn't spoken in the 1600s, right?
Right.
And so it's still the same people, the same ideologies about those people as well, because Cimarron was not considered a positive term in the 1700s.
It was derogatory.
Why? Because they were opposed to these people. You know what I'm saying?
You the ops, you're going to use it in any negative way. Exactly.
Right.
I want
It's
people to
not going
look at
to
it.
be,
who's writing what.
Right. It's not going to be shared in a positive light because it's the enemy.
I've had, before you come on the show, we've had I got to give him a shout out because he's gonna be with us next week actually. Arthur Lee Cummins, who has a series called The Negro Questions, and he has a 7-book series on Negro wars and things that happen. And when we talking to him about what he's covering, we found out about the Negro that's came over, and some of them being underneath a certain faith that people don't like to don't say black people ain't, but at the same time, just to get into it, the term that this word Cimarron or Maroon, see, I said it wrong, Maroon, but it's still Maroon, is going to go back to a Sephardic Spanish Ladino situation over across the pond. See, on this side, like everything you're breaking down over here is the terms they're using for people because they're mixing over here, so they're using it differently from the people that would be coming over that was being expelled in 1492, going back to the Spanish coming over and how they came into St. Augustine, Florida, amongst the indigenous people. And the term was when they came over, and the people in 1565, St. Augustine, Nombre de Dios Amacaris is the settlement in St. Augustine, and the Timucua and different tribes at that present time of being in contact with Spanish and certain I'm gonna say missionary groups that came in. They are literally basically calling the term for a runaway from over there was Morano or a converted person was a Marrano, and it was a derogatory term then. So anybody that opposed over there was being called this, and then now over here, indigenous people who obviously fit the same category are also being labeled the same term. It just so happened that we're talking about dark-skinned people. And I'm looking at it from that point, and just you as a doctor covering Black Seminoles, you know what I'm saying? And Abraham, and that's why I'm asking you these questions, because I gotta ask a doctor these questions. You covered this information, and now we here, and I appreciate you for doing it, by the way, because not a lot of people wouldn't have did it. They wouldn't want even people to know that this mixture, because a lot of people want everybody just to say a Black person only has African American history. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people want to label us as if we don't have no mixtures besides just that. So, go ahead.
Well, it's both. We're learning now, right? We're learning that there are some African Americans who have been quote unquote Americanized with this indoctrination. Let's call it like it is, indoctrination with predominantly white American culture, where they take that attitude about African Americans and solely want to know about African Americans, and African Americans are leading the world with Blacks and and this whole almost isolated look, right? And then you have the other ones, and let's just call it like it is again. Let's call it like a TI is. We have just some Blacks that want to be anything but Black, right? And so between the two, though, that's why we are going to do what we are doing for the next 20, 25 years, because we're going to look at different topics, different aspects of the diaspora, so that Black people do understand it. Because there are three phases. There are three phases to Black studies or African diaspora studies, right? The first phase is to provide a voice to the voiceless, right? The second phase is to look at the cultural traits and the cultural norms that go across the different types of Blacks, right? In the different areas of the diaspora, right? The basket weaving techniques. When we're talking about Black Seminoles and Gullah, we're talking basket weaving techniques. We're talking about language, how the Gullah language Geechee transforms into the Afro-Seminole Creole, and how that goes through the Bahamas, Mexico, and everywhere and other places in the United States, right? And so then we look, though, at how those cultural norms have gone out and permeated other Black societies, right? What are the cultural norms and cultural things that Black people in the United States share with Black people in Panama, with Black people in the Bahamas, with Black people in London, England? So that's the second phase. And then the third phase, of course, is looking at the present day conditions that they share, and then some that are specific to the region, and how do we address those issues. And so that's what I think that is the strongest thing with Brother Zarian and I, is because we were on the exact same page, that we not only want to tell these stories, but we want Black people to look at the issues that they are facing, because you only think it's a regional issue. There are some cross-cultural things. And I give a quick example, and I'll leave it alone. When we started putting this out, and Brother Zarian started putting it out on the media, and of course showing me, because I had a lot to learn from him on that side, and I still do. But I put some stuff out on social media on what we were doing, and the progress, all the things Zarian and our crew have taught me. And so I came across a friend of mine. We've been friends since freshman year. So that's 30 years now, right? And he said, he sent me a message and he was like, I never told you this, but I want you to know something. He was like, this is actually how my family got to Florida. He said, my I can't remember whether it was third or fourth grandfather, right? Great grandfather, great, one of them. He said was enslaved in Alabama. And when the Civil War came, he escaped to Florida. And he hid out in Florida because it was well known by then that you could hide out in Florida. And there were places in Florida that were safe haven. And that came from the Gullah and the Black Seminoles. And so he said his ancestor hid out in Florida for the whole Civil War. Then when the Civil War was over, he went back to Alabama, got the family, and brought them back to Florida. And that's how his family is in Florida. So you see, it's that cross-cultural analysis too, right? The Black Seminole story touches and goes across lines there to show, you know, how these things in the diaspora affect other Black people in the diaspora. You know?
For sure.
And so that is one of the things that we want people to understand. When they see this documentary, they're going to listen to some of the issues that Black Seminoles are facing, and they're going to identify with some of those issues. Then when they see the movie and they see that it was these Black Seminoles, these people who had close ties and not only matrilineal, but heritage, whether it was father or mother, they had mixed heritage with Native Americans, right? But there were also runaways who joined them. And so they will identify with that aspect. You know, so it's different things that are going to touch Black people as a whole in getting them to understand that the diaspora really does bring us together when we really start looking at things. And that's the whole point of what we're doing. It's about unity.
Yeah.
You know, this whole story of the Black Seminole and the Second Seminole War, which again, I always have to say, is the largest slave rebellion and most successful slave rebellion in the United States. And so that is going to touch, and that is going to help other Blacks identify. And they understand that we are unified in some areas more so than we even think at times.
I want to say something, if I can.
Of course you can.
Two things. I really appreciate, you know, the Autonomous Party for what y'all have, which the work that you guys have been doing. And because for me as a filmmaker, it gives me more, you know, references to pull off of, to feed on, and to learn, because our stories haven't been told and taught in any kind of systematic way that as it relates to the powers that be in this country. So it's up to us to teach our histories across the board. So I'm excited about, you know, the film and the documentary, because it's allowing us to pass down the legacy told from the stories that that your people have passed down from generation to generation. The research that Dr. Dixon has done for 20 years of being surrounded by the community, getting this information. And I think it's a wonderful thing, because this is really the new way that we really gonna have to teach. One of the new ways is through media. So the fact that we can shoot a film with our iPhone now, the game has changed. You know, we are in a time where we have to think transformationally. We can do things, the things that we can do now, I believe would have taken 4 generations to do before. We can do in 1 generation. And the babies, y'all got little kinfolk. You see how smart they are now. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to to bottle this up in the right way so it can be fair to the youth. I'm excited that I know that this project is going to continue to help do in a way that hasn't been done before.
I'm gonna give you an alley-oop. Because of that, I want to pull up your website. I want people to see your website tonight. We didn't bring you on here not to show your website. You know what I mean? Because it's more people to support what you guys are doing. Because I know you guys are obviously doing a lot of things. You're traveling a lot of places to see a lot of people, and I want to make sure people get that tonight. This is going to go out a lot of places. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
After this show is done live. I know people that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's watching this live. But afterwards, we're going to get a lot of people that's going to watch this show that couldn't watch it live tonight. So we want people to know clearly what you guys are doing with this part of it. We didn't bring you on just for that, because I want to talk about some other things after the fact. Now, like I said, I want to ask him about the book, Dr. Dixon about his book particularly. But right now, let's go to the website real quick. I'm gonna pull it up.
Cool.
Hold on 1 second. There we go. Get some visuals here. So as you guys built this the website, and I see you got a lot of different voices.
This is one of our producers. This is one of our producers. Legendary Lou Gossett Jr. Y'all. You know what I'm saying? He's behind this as well. So we got his blessings on him being part of what we're doing, and it just come to show that these are stories that need to be told, bro, and the Most High is using us to tell it at this particular intersection.
So as we walk through the website, Black Seminole War: A Hidden History Untold. I see where it says join our journey for anybody that wants to go. Again, the website is www.blackseminoleproject.com. So tap in. We'll try to put the link in the chat for y'all later on. Again, though, it says join the journey. So when they click on that link, it takes them somewhere to a place where they can subscribe. I don't want to go off the page just in case it takes me somewhere.
I mean, this is our virtual office. This is like where we keep all of our information. This is where we can pass down. When they join the journey, they're giving us their email, giving us permission so we can let them know, hey, this is where we're going next. This is what's going on. This is the safe haven. This is our space. This is our virtual crib right here. You know what I'm saying?
I want people to know. So when they get to the website, you letting them know. They learn. This is like a referral.
This Florida right here. We shot this in Florida. This is Matthew. Y'all may know Matthew. He does the reenactments of the Seminoles down.
Yeah. The one on a horse.
Yeah,
on a horse, right?
Yeah, and these are the reenactments. These are descendants of the Maroons, of your folks.
Yeah,
that's what's powerful about this, bro. It ain't like we just a whole bunch of experts and filmmakers talking about somebody else. No, I want your story. You see what I'm saying?
That part.
I want to highlight what it is that the world need to know from your perspective. It ain't about me. I'm learning. I'm learning like the people on TV gonna learn. I'm just here to make sure that the mechanics of it happen right. But I'm here to get the information that y'all want the world to know. You understand what I'm saying?
For sure. And now we get to Mr. Dr. Anthony Dixon. This is your book that you were the author of as well. Now I want you to know this is your plug. So this the Florida Negro War at this part of it of the website. This is where obviously you added in, as you told the story earlier, how you met him, how y'all met each other, how you guys are now together doing this project, and at the same time, your information from the Florida's Negro War. You know what I'm saying? Is what your book is about when you obviously did a historical analysis of this situation, and I want you to plug that in if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, this book again, as I mentioned earlier, it's the public history piece to the dissertation, right? So I took out all of the citations, all the suppositions, and I just told the story. But I told the story specifically from the Black Seminole perspective, using the documents that other people use as well, but looking at that document from those documents from a different lens, from the Black perspective, what was going on with them. This is why they did that. They put in a document, this is what we did, but I'm saying this is why the Black Seminoles did what they did. And so Again, this is the book. We encourage you to go to the site, buy the book from the site, because when you buy the book from the site, or well, we wanted you to get it from this site. When you buy the book from the site, some of the money, the proceeds from the sale of the book goes directly to the project.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
and so you get the information and you learn, but you also are helping contribute to us taking it to the next level and getting that documentary and the film done. Because see, the film is directly based on the book. The film, like I said, is going to look at all three groups. It's going to look at those Black Seminoles that have Native American ancestry. It's going to look at those Florida Maroons. And it's going to look at those runaways who were enticed to rebel and run away and fight against their continued enslavement. And so it's the coming together of all three of those groups in the ideas of self-empowerment, self-reliance, and above all, unity.
Unity.
And
oneness.
So that when people read this book, right, and then they watch the film, when they walk out of that movie theater, the underlying theme that we want them to walk away with is what Black people can do when they come together.
Yeah.
And that's the underlying theme that we have, right, in this process. And so like I said, though, we came together, and when we came together, we agreed upon this project, but it also enlightened us as we began this whole process that we are definitely on the same page. So we plan to do this for the next 20 years. We got documentaries in line that we've slated that we're going to come with after this. We got movies in line that we have slated that are going to come after this rather. And so we want to use this though as the cornerstone. It's the cornerstone to show what we can do. It's the cornerstone to show and demonstrate how we are going to provide a voice to the voiceless. It's the cornerstone also to show that Black people can do their own Black movies and they can tell their own story in their own word, in their own perspective.
Yeah.
How we can do it together through this. Yeah. That's why this project is really going to be the cornerstone, because the whole project is about unity. Yeah. And then our company, Glorified Griot Entertainment, is about that same ideology, that we're going to do these documentaries, we're going to do these films under the guise of Black people doing this together and on their own.
Our collective efforts is how we are doing this. It's happening.
Sure.
It's happening now and it continues to happen. I'm excited that it's happening. I'm excited that we're going to raise the money that's needed to be able to tell this story on the level of Troy, on the level of Wakanda Forever, on the level of Woman King, and nothing short of.
I got something for you. Matter of fact, you said Wakanda, but I got something for you. I want to go to the website first, though. It's interesting you said that. Let's slide down a little bit, though. Let's go to the website a little more. Is there anything else, though, about the book that you want to plug in as we sliding down, just for people to go to the website and see what we're talking about?
Last thing I do want to say about it is going to the website, joining the website, and getting the book are the first steps. Okay. Those are the first steps. Get the book. Read it. Not only read it so you get a better understanding of what we're doing and you feel closer to the project and you understand the importance and want to support the project, but get the book because this is a real story that needs to be told and needs to be learned. This is the largest slave rebellion. These are the origins of the first Underground Railroad. You know, this is the first Underground Railroad, and it was larger. It was larger than the one that they like to broadcast because white people were so heavily involved. This one was black people doing it on their own accord, and it lasted for over 100 years, not just from the late 1820s, 1830s to the 1861 when the war begins and through the war. That's only 30, 40 years. We're talking about over 100 years of black people taking the initiative and coming down into La Florida and creating this Underground Railroad to create their own villages and create their own
autonomous community
on their own.
Autonomous community. Yeah, I had to plug that in. I'm sorry, because that's why we came up with autonomous in the first place. Autonomous Maroonville. Shout out to Maroonville. That's what it's about.
Yes.
Our whole outside of the fence, Doctor. We came up with even our podcast being called the Autonomous Party because as a Maroon or Esther Lucia Macario, the heart's reality is live life autonomously, and we delineate from other groups because of the fact that that's our objective. Is in our heart we want to be autonomous with our own people in unity. That's why everything you're saying tonight and what you're presenting to do, I came to y'all like, yeah, let's get it. That's because usually tonight we usually talk to our Esther Lucy people with a brand called Aboriginal Wall Street, and we try to do it in a manner to help people aggregate wherever they're located at. You know what I'm saying? So they can learn in days' time how to do certain things. And that's a quick plug for that. We're going to have to redo it because it'll show at the end of the month. You know what I mean? But we had to get y'all here because I wanted to make sure people got it. It's working for the holiday got in. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, can you go back up, though, where it said Black Seminole? This website has a lot of good information. And obviously, it's the first time we're showing it on our platform live to the folk. So we want people to get it from the people that's doing it. No, that's how we do it here. We show the love. It's community. It's unity.
Thank you, brother.
Like I said, you representing us. Without knowing you representing us. You didn't even know who we was. We were like, oh, that's why Autonomous Party have no problem supporting your documentary and your project and making sure that we can help show you people that we know have lineages to these situations that can tell their story too. That's why we invited y'all come down here. Like y'all know what it is already. We're gonna wait a little, but we working out some things in the new year because I want y'all to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
please,
that's real time.
I want to say this too. Please donate.
Definitely.
Please donate because, as Dr. Dixon says, we are telling our own story. We're not going to no Jewish community. We're not going to no any other community to ask for funds to tell our story. When I say our story, I mean it as a collective.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's melanated stories. Like I was listening to your website earlier about the Maroons down in Brazil, in different parts of the world. Everybody has a story that all of this needs to be told. They don't want to give you that foundation to be able to look and say, no, I'm not going to let you handle me like that because that's not the legacy of our people. But when you don't know your foundation, you can get rocked any kind of way. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that the babies, this is for the babies, bro. This is for the next 300 years, man. Not 30 years, next 300, 400 years. What we create, what we talk about right now today, what we put into the script, all these gems, you know what I'm saying? The ancestors pouring in from so many different directions. We also need the money to pour in. So that way we can tell the story, we can book the flights, we can make the trips, we can hire the editors, we can get the you know what I'm saying, the hard drive space to tell it in 4K. There's a lot of technical wherewithal that's needed. So that's how the donations are very helpful. I just want to put that out there because this is as Dr. Dixon said, this is a communal exercise of our unification to be able to put something into distribution on our own for ourselves by ourselves. I just want to.
I do want to say this though. I will add
for
this.
Us by us. Yeah. Go ahead,
it is essentially for us by us, right? But I will admit that we have also, and we will look at also partnering with other things that may not be predominantly black. And my ideas there is our latest partnership with the International Documentary Association, right? Now, the International Documentary Association may not be predominantly black, but they understand the importance of people telling their own stories. And so they support that. They support blacks, they support Native Americans, they support Latinos and other communities as such. And so we do go into partnerships with organizations as such. But they do that we do that, and they do that with the understanding that it is important for us to tell our own story.
That part.
And so we do go into different partnerships, but like I said, they understand that we are in charge, we're in control, we are going to tell our own story, because
That's
it's
real.
not only the right thing and the best way to tell the truth, but it is also our responsibility. We cannot continue to think that other people are going to tell it the way we want to tell it if we don't have control on what is actually being said. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier in my career, why I also went into library science and special collections and archives, right? And then eventually I went back and got a master's in library and information science, because who has that information controls the narrative of the story. You know, I have seen it where black professors have put in requests for information, and they have drugged black professors for months, semesters, years, where a white professor will get it in a matter of weeks.
You know, I'm glad you're dropping these jewels for people to understand this, doctor, because some people might not get that, because you went through the trials and tribulations to get to the position to have this title in front of your name and give us this information. And that's why this is important. This is for us and by us, y'all, who out there listening out there in the world and to eat this live with us or after the fact. We just support for us by us to show that these people are being genuine about they're going after people that have the genealogy, that have the lineages, that went through that can tell the storyline that matches up with the information that the man even wrote the book about. He's not, you know what I mean? Like, we got to support our own stuff. BlackSeminoleProject.com. You feel me? I'll make sure y'all plug that in. We're going to slide that down a little bit more so you can see a little bit more of the website. And we're going to play a quick clip of something afterwards, kind of tied to what we do, and show you how all this kind of synchronizes and why we having this conversation and how we even met. Because how it happened, how long you think I've known y'all now? Zarian and Dr. Anthony Dixon, how long I think I've known y'all? Maybe a month or so, maybe at the most?
Yep. About 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, maybe so, you know. And this is how it happened. Because like I said, I met y'all, you were like, hold up, wait a second. I'm on here talking about all this. And then y'all pull up me like, oh, we got this going on. I'm like, oh, Zarian, goddamn. Excuse me, Zarian. I just want to say your name in vain. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate all the excitement, man.
I talk like that. You feel me? I'm down here. I'm in the Glades. You feel me?
Hey,
I'm in the sticks. They call it. Even though it's city, we city boy, but we still in the sticks. It's the Glades down here.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, say you at the sticks.
Yeah, but we close to that hard rock with the guitar though. You know what I'm saying about?
That part.
No, I'm saying, but matter of fact, I got to give a quick shout out to my family out of Liberia. You know what I'm saying? Addicts. High school, prominent black school, my area, Broward County, you know what I mean? And it just had the 100-year anniversary as a city, you know what I'm saying? That takes us back to 1923 when it got called Liberia, by the way. And shout out to my grandma who first told me about my indigenous heritage staying off Hood Street. You hear me out? Liberia, what up? What they do? This right here, though, dive into incredible journey of the Black Seminoles in our up-and-coming feature film, Black Seminole War. We're gonna slide up a little more. Just make sure I get everybody to see this. You see, sign me up. So again, go to BlackSeminoleProject.com and check out the website and support this documentary. You know what I mean? The autonomous party, we tapping in. Yeah, we tapping in with this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
This one. No pressure, man. But I'm gonna play a quick clip, And I'm glad that you guys came. Thank you again for pulling up on us. And we got more plans. I already invited y'all to a situation coming up for our situation in February, Black History Month. You know what I mean? And I got some people. That's why when you come, Zarian, I would like for you to interview, you know what I mean, get some clips and use it for, you know what I mean? That's why I'm doing it. So you can be here and there's going to be people there. And boom, take advantage of the opportunity. And, you know, Autonomous Party gets to be plugged into the documentary. Plug, wink, wink. You know what I'm saying?
Why would we not, bro? How can we not?
Cheers to that one. I ain't got no pressure with that. I ain't got no pressure with that one. Yeah. I'm going to play a quick clip and then I'm going to go into something. So everybody, shout out to Coop say again that we've been doing our production on our shorts. You know what I mean? Because I'm learning a lot.
I love them, bro.
You know what I mean?
I love y'all. I was watching these today, like, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. You got to get the visual. Go to our channel after the fact. And we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of videos for our Sunday shows. Shout out to Opie Mihad that been doing the genealogy series on our show. You know what I mean? And shout out to all the social club members and everybody that been helping us with all of our content of putting these shows out. It's just not us. You know what I mean? It's a unity community. That's the Lusty. You know what I mean? Yeah, click on the link though.
I want to tell my people that's on here, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out autonomousparty.com. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share. They got a lot of math, a lot of science that they dropping, and you see what they doing with the platform they setting up for us. So y'all definitely make sure y'all follow autonomousparty.com and donate to their cause as well.
Thank you very much for that plug, man. I appreciate that, brother.
Because it's a collective effort.
Yeah.
You know, it's a collective effort.
Absolutely. 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 That's the Lucy. That's what we doing over there.
Absolutely. That's the Lucy.
Absolutely. That's the Lucy.
And I like autonomously, unapologetically.
Autonomously, yes, indeed. Yeah.
Can we do some bars?
I like that one.
Bars. You know what I mean? Bars.
Autonomously, unapologetically.
I like that. We got phrases over here coming up off this show. Yeah.
Are you rapping on the music, man? That's you on the music?
No, that's Maroon J. We're gonna play it at the end of the show. You know what I mean? He actually gave us an anthem and everything. We got a couple other people because we do music. Yes, we do music. In my industry, I used to run before the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
I had internet radio stations, studio green rooms, ran restaurant bars in my you know what I mean, in my community, all that South Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Right.
I've you know what I mean, I've been in my community for a minute.
Right.
But at the same time, on this level of it, because I've done indigenous conferences, you know what I mean? I've traveled when I was younger, when I had the opportunity to go, when I wanted to learn more about this. I was about 31 years old at the time, and I had the opportunity. So I took the opportunity to go see some things. Yeah. And, you know, when the pandemic happened, it gave me another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't able, you know, they shut down the bars and all that stuff too.
I want to present another opportunity to you. I want to get you connected with more of the museums and historical sites within South Florida.
That's what I need.
Because, of course, that was part of my profession. It still is part of my profession of what I do. I work with Black museums, and as a matter of fact, they are building an African American library in West Palm Beach, like the one in Lauderdale.
That's right, Lauderdale. What up?
Yeah. We're working on that project. So I want the Autonomous Party to get more in tune and work with them and let them work with you all and help you all to get another platform for another audience and a larger audience in some areas as well.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Doctor.
Because it's a collective effort.
That.
It is a collective effort. Because I can see y'all doing something on historic Virginia Key Beach down in Miami. You
already know.
You all could do something there. They already do. Yeah, they already do the drumming in the park on Sundays.
Yes, they do. On Fridays
go out and do the drumming. Yeah. So I can see you all doing music and things of that nature from time to time out there on the park, out there on the beach.
Oh yeah, if you got the plug on it, actually my homegirl, shout out my homegirl Trish, she go out there on Fridays right now, or they do the drumming on Fridays on Biscayne. It be number, you know, I mean it's culture. You know what I mean? Like you said, they just drumming, they got the fire running, and it's experience, man.
Yeah, that's on the West Coast. We do the same thing on the west coast of Leimert Park in South Central Los Angeles, over there in the 40s area. Yeah, so if y'all ever come to Los Angeles and you're looking for that cultural, that plug, that culturalness, that oneness with the melanation, you know what I'm saying, upon nations, within a nation, come over there to Leimert Park. That's where it's going down there. Got the drum circle on Sundays. We got all the vendors out. You know, we got the good foods, the good eats, the veggies, you know what I'm saying? Got the herbs, the stones, the yoni this and yoni that, and you know, the whole nine, bro. The frequency, you know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing. Shout out to my frequency project I've been working on in Cincinnati, Ohio, man. We're just working on taking it. This is like alkaline information. You know, if you was to take alkaline and put into information, this would be it right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So same with the music, going to a whole nother level.
Gotta bring the culture back. This is us bringing the culture back for us, by us, autonomously speaking. I mean,
yeah, bro.
That's why we call it that way. That's what it's about. It's about
right?
telling
that's
our own story and being who
we have to make.
Yeah,
that's
we got to do this
way.
way.
We have to make.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this clip real quick, and we're gonna go into some more information before I get you out of here. You know, because we only do this from 9 to 11 on this side of the, you know, on our joint. We live in the studio, so you know, but we're gonna bring you guys back as you guys get more updates and certain things that you want to put out. You always have access to us to plug in.
We certainly appreciate it because we love to come back.
For sure, I appreciate y'all. Play the clip real quick. This is our plug for the Estelusti Macario American Maroons today and how we collectively come together. So let's plug in some history. Kofi, it's on you. God of Green, shout out to Muslim, my man Baron P, Firebird, Super Blaze, Museum of the Lounge. Let's go.
Maroons are the amalgamation of Europeans, Indians, and Africans who formed their own semi-autonomous communities outside the jurisdiction of the 13 colonies. These groups will often settle in secluded areas such as the Great Dismal Swamp, the Florida Everglades, Scott's Hall in Jamaica, and many more. These Maroons will often develop their own culture, government, militia, and trade. Throughout history, Europeans have attempted to track down and destroy Maroon communities, but this was often met with hostile force. For an example, the British weren't able to overthrow the Maroons of Jamaica, so in turn they established treaties with them. A similar thing happened in 1866 when the United States government was forced to sign the Treaty of Payne's Landing with this collection of free people of color, also known as Yacht Seminole or Seminole. There are many Maroon communities that still exist today, such as the Colombos of Brazil, the Ninduka of Suriname, and the Esteluste Amacario of the Americas. For more interesting facts like this, please like, share, and subscribe.
Share, and subscribe. If you listen to us live, go to the channel or the Autonomous Party, go to our website. You'll see everything we got going on. We've been building. You know what I mean? We build it. You know what I'm saying? Autonomously, for us and by us. We're doing this for us and by us in the Esteluste Amacario Maroon way. And we want unity. Like you said, everything about the Maroon ideal of autonomously being what we're talking about in our culture today and how we're preserving it is about the compound unity of how we're bringing together all of our different understandings of where we might have different uniquely backgrounds and storylines. But in what, like you said, when you're trying to fight back certain situations, you got to have a commonality. And that commonality in a community is about compound unity. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people kind of miss that oneness. You know what I mean? Maranatha to you. We're gonna pull up a clip real quick, and I want you to check this out, Doctor. I know you know I got a doctor I've been trying to get a hold of. You know what I mean? And she wrote a crazy document. You know what I mean? And we reaching out to her. She busy though, but we're gonna get to her. But yeah, I want to go to Naquan. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, give me that. We got our clips, but we want to make sure everybody got what they needed from y'all too. So we make sure the plug is very clear about
what doctor is this we talking about.
The doctor who I'm trying to get a hold of, her name is Dr. Carla D. Pratt. Are you familiar with her?
I've heard that name, Dr. Pratt.
You heard of her?
Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to get a hold of her. She's dropped some fire. You know what I'm talking about? And a lot of people have been missing it. I don't think a lot of our own people collectively have read what she has done. I think right now, presently, she's in Oklahoma, dealing with history. I know she's at Oklahoma. Cause like I said, I've been tracking her down after I've read a lot of her stuff and how she's talked about our people And we wanted to get her like how we got y'all on the show, and we want to invite her to certain things we're doing to speak on certain things because she's a professor, she's a doctor, she's a, you know what I mean, she's covered this information. I think she's obviously tied to it as well, the way she's talked about it. I'm gonna show a clip, Dr. Anthony Dixon tonight of some of her information that she's put out, you know what I mean, to back up what we're going with and why the narrative we say today, Estelusti. How we delineate, we just say Estelusti. You know what I mean? Now, no, earlier, you know, hey, Zarian, me and you both did a quick little song with the tall and shit. We did the, you know, the Quanda joint. I call it the tall. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, the X marks the dot. You know what I mean? The X joint. You know, shout out to Malcolm X.
Right.
You don't want to be called Aborigines type joint. You know what I'm saying? This right here, scroll down a little bit. All right. No Wakanda for us was the phrase of this website. I thought that was kind of crazy how I had it there already for this show. And then when we both did this and we talked, he mentioned Wakanda earlier, you know what I'm saying? And how this right here talked about Maroons in the manner of Wakanda. So I want to just give a quick little plug to it because it fit kind of everything that went with it. It just happened how it happened. So this quick little bypass of what it's saying here. And it was, you know, this is an article that was written in July 23rd, 2018. Shout out to the article, the person that wrote the article. You see his name right there, Maroon Shopora. I give plugs for whoever we take information from. It says Maroons were a tiny communities of escaped slaves. This is different narratives people get from what they put out. But I found it interesting. It had that title at the top, No Wakanda for Us. It's escaped slaves who held an in-between status in many New World slave societies, somewhere between freedom and captivity. They avoided the brutality of slavery, but confronted the abuses that came from being black in a white society. During the 1790s, and by the way, just because certain dates is automatically stick out to me, the year after 1790, since they have it that way without any other numbers, because obviously 1790 is going to the 18th century, that's the 18th century, but 1791 was when the first census was taken by United States of America. Mm-hmm. The first census of America is 1791. But it says 1790, a community of Jamaican Maroons was deported to Nova Scotia and after 4 years moved to West Africa. So when you brought up earlier how you said, you know, that, you know, it was people that came back, they went to West Africa, you know what I mean? Nova Scotia, I know they had a lot of Maroon communities up there in Canada, so shout out to all the Maroon communities up there. And then at the end of the day too, we know that they also, because they were so intimate about autonomy in their movement and resisting the society that was being built in America at this time, that they was trying to get back to West Africa, you know what I'm saying, to establish their own situations autonomously. And some of them, you know, did and some of them didn't. However, you know what I mean, the storyline, if you want to go into it, you have to read more into it. It says their survival in exile provides an unessential, that's it, right? Unessential, perhaps unsatisfying reminder. What happened? Thank you. Unsentimental. I see. Got a green for the plug. I was messing it all up. Yeah, I was messing it all up. That's my fault. And then it says unsatisfying reminder of human aspirations. We can look to them to rethink our notions of freedom and heroism in the face of unimaginable obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just wanted to give that plug because it said no Quanda forever. We can. It was 1790. It wasn't 1791. I got a correction on that too. It was actually 1790. I always say 1791 for some reason. I don't know why I do that. But okay, 17. No, I know what it is. 1791, something else. But anyway, we're gonna keep it 1790. He's right. So now, with that being said, I got all these markers, all these shows we do. I mean, these dates and stuff. Whew, been playing with you. You gotta keep a timeline, right? But still, this these 3 points is noted, and that's the main point I want to show out. Because they had to, you know Wakanda for us, because folks were trying to find another Wakanda situation in the 18th century, as what they were talking about in this article. Doctor, what you think about that? And Zarian, I'll let you plug in on any source we bring up tonight. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing about it. When you look at Maroon societies, right? When you look at, you could pick any one of them. And there's a book called Maroon Societies where they actually did a study and looked at major Maroon societies. They were eking out their own existence, right? They were able to retain and have control over their own cultural experience and to a certain degree living experience, right? But of course, that was dictated by larger plantation society and the governments that were in the area at the same time. But it was also governed by Mother Nature, right? That where they lived also governed how they act, right? And the things that they used to survive, and the things that they also use for cultural expression, right?
Right.
The Gullah are a good example, and the Black Seminoles are a very good example, right? We see the baskets in Low Country and in Carolina and Georgia and parts of North Florida being done with sweetgrass. But then if you go into the Bahamas and you go over into the go west into Florida, you're gonna find them being made with palm, right? So there's the issue where, you know, the actual land and Mother Nature has some dictation on it as well, but they're still eking out their own existence. And so that's I think the key thing that you have to understand when you're looking at these Maroon societies, right, is that they all had to eke out their existence in their best way, right? When you look at the Jamaican Maroons, they were quite isolated in the Blue Mountains, right? And they used the mountains to use for security, just like the the enslaved people who escaped and went into the Dismal Swamp, right? They used the swamp as their protective barrier. And then you see the same thing in Florida, living in swampy areas, living in highly dense areas, living in areas that are low-lying, such that, you know, they could contend with the mosquitoes, but they knew that whites wouldn't really come into the area because they couldn't contend with the mosquitoes, because mosquitoes brought yellow fever for them. You see, so that's the whole thing about what we want to do and what we need to do, right? Which is look at all of these different experiences, right? And look at all of the cultural norms that they share as well. You know, and that's the thing about it. Just using the Maroon societies as an example, it is a prime example because it shows both the survival techniques that different groups had to use, right? But it also showed some of the cultural traits that went and permeated through each one that originated from the continent. So this is what we really want to do, right? We want to be able to look at articles and take these articles and transform them in a way that's for the larger audience to understand, right? And to gather and to absorb. We want to use edutainment, right?
Right.
And so when you look at an article such as this one, what you should get is the basic information, right, of telling the voice, because the Maroon story itself, whether it's Jamaica, Suriname, Florida, Great Dismal Swamp, is not a story that you're going to find in the annals of American history, right? And then the second thing is, once you get into those stories, you begin to see those cultural traits that are throughout each one and what they do share. And then, of course, the third thing is, what does that mean for today, right? And it's the ideas of what you all do and make the perfect example of autonomy, right? Autonomy, and then existence and survival, right? And how you make sure that that culture and that way of life goes forward. into the future, like Zarian said, 300 years from now, our babies, what do they continue to learn? What do they get from us from learning these stories? And not only the stories of the past, but what we're doing right now, what the issues are that we're dealing with right now. So they won't be an issue for them 300 years from now.
I appreciate you for that.
I like that, man.
And a matter of fact, the plugs in you see we got you plugged in, right? We got our people in the chat plugging in, let people know. Y'all got a YouTube channel as well, so we want people to support in all the ways. I know you're going to use all these channels to obviously market the documentary. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to help each other with this situation, how it's going to play out. I mentioned the lady's name.
Excuse me.
Carla D. Pratt. No pressure. I mentioned the lady's name, Carla D. Pratt. I'm in her because I wanted to make sure the first time I talked to y'all that we make sure that we dialogued in a way that we're in support of each other and we're community, our community, what we're doing, and how, like you said, in edutainment and all the different avenues of where we're putting out this information, that we could be able to show that common bond of what we're both, have in common. And obviously at the same time, but I'm gonna bring you back, Doctor. So as sometime for different discussions we have on our podcast that I feel you might be a specialist at. Can you grab the book behind you real quick one more time before I pull up this joint?
Which one?
The new book, the physical book.
Because we're in Florida.
I'm gonna send you some money.
That one too now.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a signed copy of that, by the way. I'm gonna send you some paper, but we'll talk about it.
No, I'm gonna give you a copy of both of them because this is one also that we got to get in every black house in Florida. This is a timeline of black history in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the way things are going now in the educational system, right? We have to take some of this education, and it's our responsibility to educate our children and ourselves, right? With what the black experience in Florida is and the black contribution to this state. And so we
go ahead.
We want to get that one out too, because when you get this book, proceeds of this book also go to the Black Seminole Project. Everything is going to what we are doing because the books are at this level. We are going to take it to the next level, right?
Oh, we're gonna have a conversation. So
we use the books. We use the books as the basis and the foundation to get to the larger audience with these measures of edutainment.
Right. I got a question. I love that, Dixon. He's right. The books that's the foundation. That's the nucleus. Mac, I got a question for you. As far as the Esther Lucy in Florida, this is going into my research and development of some unanswered questions that I have that I really want to know more about too. And I'm sure Dixon may know, I may not ask him. But when it comes to Seminole that mastered the art of cattle herding, I want to talk to somebody that is a straight cowboy that's that has Seminole roots and that do this.
I got the dude for you.
Hold on.
Actually, the president's using them and all.
Okay. Hold that.
Yeah,
and then the other one is there any Seminole Esther Lucy that know the mastery of the fighting styles and the strategic, who's a straight warrior that can take me through, like, this is what we did, this is how we did this is how we did that, and what's the exercise we did, it's the breathing that, you know what I'm saying?
It might be hard.
Right.
I had a war chief.
The karate master, like who?
Listen. Hey, my man, cool.
I want to sign up.
The war chief, he just passed a couple years ago, man.
Because he wants to take this thing and make sure it is authentic as possible. He has asked me that before. I keep telling him it's guerrilla warfare. But he's like, no, I want to know. What's the guerrilla part of the warfare? I want to know.
You got to come down. Hey, you say you came down to the swamps recently. Didn't you say you just took a trip down to Florida to see some folk up in the northern areas? right? You see what I'm saying?
I got
mosquito
bites.
Florida.
I
Our
gotta know what
last,
kind of repellent.
I got
It's in my
mosquito bites
bloodline,
to
so
prove it,
you
bro.
can't mess with me like that. Oh, they bit you up for real.
Yeah,
They got you.
I got mosquito bites to prove it, bro.
we tried to tell him, bro.
Hey, I said we might have to shoot the war scene in Hollywood, bro.
No, you can't do it like that. You can't do
I
it
said,
like that.
hey, I was like, no. What I told him was, we gonna shoot them swamp scenes during the daytime. At night, we gonna have to make a set because them mosquitoes come out, bro. Them mosquitoes.
Ain't shit changed. Ain't shit changed.
I was like, damn, this what they had to go through.
Hey, listen here.
I was like, damn, this what they had to go through.
Swamp
God.
Hey,
swamp canes down here.
I tried to warn him, brother. I tried to warn him. Matthew tried to warn him. The other
I told him though. I did tell him.
Tried to warn him. They were like, "Hey, y'all sure you don't want to wrap this up before the sun go down?" He all
when
no.
The sun go down. You in the swamp?
No, we want the dark scene.
You want the dark scene? Okay, you gonna find out. You gonna be out there on them swamp waters? Okay, I'm gonna show y'all something funny from the Library of Congress too. That's gonna be my last joint. You heard me, guys? That's gonna be the last joint. Matter of fact, pull up this joint real quick so we can get all three in. So we're gonna go a little bit over 11. Shout out to Music Lounge. They're gonna let me do it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let me do. They're gonna let me get all this party in. Feel me? And we're gonna get back to our live mix. I know Blake's gonna blend this back into the Music Lounge licks. Anybody that is local, if you tapping into this conversation, obviously afterwards, tap in Music Lounge back to regular programming. At the same time, though, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull up the link. Got a green. Yeah, pull up the Just Store joint for the folk. See the mosquitoes. I'm going to the swamp tonight. I'm going to be in Miccosukee territory within the next hour. I promise you.
We gotta
homestead. Huh?
That's what I said. You going way out of the sticks. What is that? Past 170th Avenue?
Yes, sir. Homestead down there, all that area there.
Okay.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, I'm gonna be in that area tonight. I promise you. Yeah, I move around these areas. I'm all through the swamp. Yeah,
we're gonna have to follow you. We're gonna have to follow you for a day, bro.
Yeah, you think it's a joke? I can show you some things.
No. I'm saying, like, we're gonna talk, man, cause you know what I mean.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. Ain't no pressure. That's why we're doing this. That's why. Look, like I said, Aboriginal Wall Street. I gotta plug it. It was on the 1st of every month, but for this month, because of y'all, we're gonna do it on the last of this month. And I got a special coming for that, by the way, anybody that's tapping in. So tap into that too. AboriginalWallStreet.com, by the way.
Thank you, brother, for putting that off just to include us. Thank you.
I have to, because this is like, I was excited too. I ain't gonna front, I'll be lying. I was excited to meet some people that's doing a project like this, and that it covered literally what the Autonomous Party and our concept of autonomy is built off the Maroon community ideal of everything. Everything that we're doing is built off of this community understanding today, and building ourselves to be autonomous is based off of the Maroon guerrilla, you know what I mean? Like mentality. We ain't going off racist and banging on nobody. It's just about us community building and how we relate to people. We're not gonna let nobody tell you we're not indigenous to America, because we know we have ties through our relations and mixtures of unique genealogies. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna let nobody. We delineate a certain way for a reason. Right. Some people might not understand that, you know what I mean? But that's just what it is. Estelusti is why we're gonna prove it. I can prove it through people that's documented, you know what I mean? People that I guess we like the doctor here tonight. That's here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger for me, guy. No, it ain't gonna work.
We want to talk to the elder, if we can talk to the elders, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? The elders too. You know what I mean? They definitely respect the elders and
for sure
get their permission. You know what I'm saying? And
always.
And be able to
always get their permission first.
If they want to have something to say, I would love to be able to.
Oh, I got an elder. Elder for you. That's related to Lauren Slides. She's excited. She's excited to speak to y'all. Like, she's excited to speak. And I told her, what I got lined up and the things we're doing. And I mentioned y'all. I mean, and I think that you guys will definitely want to get her information.
Well,
she's tied since you asked for a Buffalo,
I think we should make our last, because we're doing one final round of interviews in Florida. And so I think we should push the interviews back to February. That way we can line everybody up.
Tell them come on down there.
Get to the interviews lined up, we can get in line with what you are having in February as well. And we can just do a good overall coverage, because we really do need to get to South Florida. We did North Florida and Central Florida. Now we need to do Central Florida and South Florida.
Well, it's your chance. I'm letting you know I got you come. You come down here. I'm gonna line it up for a lot of people to be here that weekend. You know what I'm saying? And play.
You know what I mean? Just have me a horse I can ride, bro. Just have me a horse I can ride. All right.
No, we don't ride horses down here. We're too city for that, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I keep telling you, he got to stay in Central Florida with Matthew for that.
Yeah, you gotta go into Central and North Florida to get that. Like, we riding horses. But no, black folk down here ain't doing all that, dog. We on 24s and donks, and you know what I mean. We got to go. I could go into some stuff. I ain't gonna do that right now. I'm gonna leave it like, hey, slow up a little bit. Let me get this paragraph real quick. Let me get this. But hey, this link though is not from Carla D. Pratt. I'm gonna show her out of Osceola conversation. I wanted to share everybody tonight. Osceola, the abstract, and obviously it's small. I'm sorry we can't zoom it up. Justor gives us a hard time, huh? And he zoomed it up. Shout out to God Green. He got it as big as possible for anybody that want to get their eyes on this. All right, cool. So it says this article examines how prejudice has resulted in attenuated status positioned of the Osceola, in parentheses, Black Seminoles, vis-a-vis the Seminole Indians within the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. I argue that the most sufficient status, and I'm sorry, it's small, participators, allotment, statehood, Jim Crow, legalized segregation, money, and overt attempts at disenfranchisement of Frenchie can be discerned using Bobo, and this is a court case you can go look up, and then J. Scott issue and all that right there. And it says association with prejudice as group position theory drawn from the propulsive sample of the self-identified Osceola. I delineate, such as myself, the social and historical factors relevant to the group position of the Osceola. Additionally, three things emerge from the social historical examination: a shift in relationship characterized as either congenial or antagonistic. And I might be saying that wrong. Antagonistic. And this is depending. I'm sorry, say it again.
Yes, antagonistic.
Antagonistic, depending on the social historical period. The source of intergroup antagonism noted in the outside forces and lack of knowledge of the role of slavery on both sides as a catalyst for conflict between the two groups. So this just stored is other sources that, if you understand this how they spell it, we spell it a little bit differently. You know, we put V's where U's is that, by the way, but at the same time, you know, Osceola, ESTE dash LUSTI, or you actually no dash because they do it just all together, and that's a whole other conversation too. But we separate them because we know there's two words there. Esther means mixed, Lusty means black. Esther, Lusty, it means mixed black. And obviously, Yacht Seminole means free people, so we're a mixed black free people. And it's a very different mixtures of people that fall into the category of Black Seminole, Osceola. And I'm gonna pull up Dr. Khalid's rat source. And before we go into a song, I'm gonna show you how even our Osceola folk, they got in the Library of Congress, how we came up with different songs in our area of the time frame, and then the folk out there in the plains, and how we, you know, shout out to my Rattlers snake dance song. We had all sorts of song dances and stamps and all that good stuff to go with it. This right here though is Washington Lee Journal of Civil Rights and Social Justice. I'll just let you know where I'm getting the source from. Carla D. Pratt is being featured in this. She has a lot more information if you type in her name the way you see it there, Carla D. Pratt, and Tribes and Tribulations, Beyond Sovereignty Immunity, toward reparation. And this, you see, we are obviously tied to people that think we should be repaired for what took place with us because of the one drop rule. The Negro one drop rule is actually the premise of what took place with us by them disenfranchising us from out of being a part of nations of people on this land and exiled on our own land based off the one drop rule. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Martin Luther King that made that statement in the 1960s, by the way. Plug. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up a little bit more. I'm going to give him a little bit of this because I ain't going to read the whole thing. We're almost there. I just want to share this last part, Esther Lucy. I would be wrong if I didn't. Like, I want to give him the abstract of this too. And then it says, again, this is from her. This article advocates a form of micro-reparation for a limited class of African Americans, the Esther Lucy, in parentheses, it says Black Indians. Because technically, being that Yacht Seminole really is tied to Muskogee, this word Esther Lucy goes back to is a Muskogee word. All right? It's not a Seminole word because Seminoles aren't actually a bloodline. That it really is a collective. But Muskogee is the base of this Yacht Seminole collective. We understand our heritage. And Muskogee and different terms I can go into. But when it comes down to the term and how in 1823, when actually your book that covers the Second Seminole Wars and stuff, 1823 after, because obviously we fought into 1858. So obviously the people that are fighting from 1823 that didn't go to Oklahoma up into 1858, this is really the term that's being used for those in situations when you read certain documents. Black Indians, Muskogee, which means Choctaw, Chickasaw, any of the 5 civilized tribes of Esther Lucy people would fall under these category that got impacted by the Negro One drop rule. I can tell you that without even reading this whole thing, but I want to make sure I tell you my part of it. It's like me, ad-lib into it. Now, when it says, though, the article seeks reparations in the form of racial healing, not only from the United States government, but also from the one particular participant in African-American slavery, Native American Indian tribes. The article begins by defining the theory of micro-reparations and providing a historical foundation which serves as the factual predicate to the claim that Black Indians have for reparations. This part of the article establishes how the rule of hypo descent, which is the one drop rule, as you see, has served historically and presently to exclude Black Indians from tribal membership. Exactly. Parts 3 and 4 of the article outline legal and political strategies that could be utilized in an effort to obtain justice for Black Indians. Part 5 of the article acknowledges problem with the purely legal approach to achieving reparations for Black Indians and seek to proffer in interdisciplinarily, I had to say it like that, I get tongue-tied, it's an approach to achieving reparations that will preserve the tribal right of self-determination and sovereign immunity. And I'm going to let probably D. Pratt land on that. You got to go research the lady. She cold. I'm telling you, Esther Lucy Macario. Shout out to all my Maroons out there. Shout out to the ladies that just went United Nations in 2017 fighting for indigenous rights. The Gullah Geechee, Queen Quet fought into that group as well. Shout out to Mama G in Jamaica of the Maroons. Shout out to the Tahinos I know that are also a part of this collective women's group fighting for indigenous rights throughout the Americas. For us, though, who have this lineage tied to Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, and certain areas of Florida, as you know, La Floridas, Esther Lucy from 1823 to 1865. Freedmen became later on the term based off of that situation, but we like to say Esther Lucy. And Dr. Anthony Dixon, I appreciate you and Zarian Hadley for coming on with us. Is there anything you want to say before we leave here tonight? Because that's our time for the night. We're going to have to bring y'all back, though, definitely.
Go ahead, Brother Zarian.
Just thank you, man. Just continue to pray for us and the family, and we're gonna keep on pushing, man, getting these stories out there.
I appreciate you too, man. Doctor,
I think he said it best. We need your prayers, we need your support, because what we're doing is something that is necessary and has been needed for a while, but it's also groundbreaking, right? And the reason I say it's groundbreaking is because we're really letting the people who are the most involved have the most say. Yeah. And so that's groundbreaking. Yeah. And so whenever you break ground, you have to dig up rocks. And when you dig up rocks, it gets a little arduous, it gets a little hard, you get a little opposition. Yeah. So pray for us.
One last thing. I want this to be so big, so massive that it's talked about everywhere. socially on all social media platforms, not just the movie, the film. Those are just agents to help push it. But 30, 40 years from now, you know, saying this is something that you can't avoid in the books of American history.
Facts.
Exactly.
We're trying to make history. It's not just, this is history. This is how we get back in the storyline of telling our story.
It's so powerful that you.
This is how we truly make it American history. We
Exactly.
get them to understand that these Black stories are American history.
Yeah,
American history.
Just as much as
African
4th of July.
history, American history. I'm a Cario. Y'all gonna have to check us out because we cover a lot of stuff. I'm gonna tell you next week. I got the author Lee Cummins coming on the show, and I'm telling you because the Negro question series is gonna open some doors for also some things that we've been miseducated about. But I wanted y'all particularly, and I'm plugging into y'all. See, I love American history. I love world history. You know what I mean? From all of our categories of Black history, I've studied it all. Matter of fact, when you said it earlier, my first class at FAMU was African American Studies as well. You know what I'm saying?
Who did you have?
I forget the man's name. I got to go back and look at my my paperwork.
All you got to
remember
do is
his name.
describe him. I tell you,
he was a bald head. He had a bald head.
What year were you there?
98.
98
and 98.
Okay.
I can't remember his name right now. I can't lie to you. That's bad, but I can't remember his name. But I literally took the class. I took the class. It was my first class in summer of 98.
Now that could have been Dr. Eaton.
I'm gonna go find it out. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna go find this out. It's messing with me, but I ain't gonna hold this off tonight. But I'm gonna get to you and let you know who my professor was. I passed the class. He was like, man, Mac. I said I went to FAMU. Shout out to Young Hall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And they tearing mine down. You know, I was in Gibbs. They tearing Gibbs down.
Oh shoot, Gibbs gone?
Yep, Gibbs is gone.
Man, things changing, man. My daughter just came up there recently for the homecoming, just past weekend. You know what I mean? She was up there.
I ain't making the
I've been going there since I was over
legit. I was up there about 6 weeks ago. I had to do a speaking engagement. So you know, you come that close, you got to go on the hill, baby. So
you gotta
I went
the
up
hill.
there. That was my first time seeing the Rattler, the new Rattler statue.
Okay.
So then I looked behind the building, and I be doggone half of Gibbs was gone. I was like, "What the world?" They were knocking it down.
Damn.
But I won't be mad. We got to progress, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna touch down with FAMU too.
It doesn't even look like Pattyfoot was ever there.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm telling you, it doesn't even look like it was ever there.
I ain't gonna front. I can't be high class in Sedity. My first semester at FAMU, I did stay at Pattyfoot. My second semester, and my third semester, I stayed at
Pattyfoot.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't front.
Yeah, I was in Pattyfoot for summer school. That was what, summer 90.
Me and North Star was just at FAMU, man. We got lost over there. That's a big place, man.
Tallahassee. Yeah. You see, they got the Rattlers and they got the Seminoles sitting next door, right? You notice how they got it like that? How that correlate? Ain't that something? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do the Library of Congress. We're gonna get out of here. Blaze, you can get ready, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Put up the Library of Congress joint. Let everybody see the song and dance joint. We're gonna play a couple songs right after it. They kind of we lined it up that way because we leading out with music. So we're gonna give you this last historical joint. Library of Congress. What they got to say about Seminole and the different things. Seminole and Miccosukee songs. So I just want to show that, you know what I mean? And here we go. As you see, it goes into indigenous people of Florida. In the second line after here, it says Seminole people are related to the Creek tribes, Muskogee, who once inhabited what is now Alabama, Georgia. Actually, now Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, excuse me. The indigenous people of Florida were greatly reduced in number as a result of illness from the conflicts with Europeans in 16th and 17th centuries. Intertribal and European Indian conflicts caused a group of the Southern Creeks to move south into Florida, along with smaller numbers of other southeastern tribes in the 1700s. These people and some members of the surviving tribes in Florida united to form Seminole. They say Seminole, Maroon. Shout out to all them people in them categories in different variations. Spanish Florida created a haven for escaped African American slaves from north of the Florida border. These escaped slaves chose to settle near Seminole, and two groups were often allies. You know what I'm saying? And again, Andrew Jackson and all that. That's why I'm gonna let that sit there for a second. I gotta move down because of timing, but that's why we show you the source, Library of Congress. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna get to the dances though, because we've read a lot of this stuff. We covered a lot of this information tonight and before, but because of our guests, I want to just this is highlighted for this particular part. Right here, get to the song shit. Come back down. Come back down a little bit. Right there. Make sure no one missed none of this. All right, here we go. All right, so there it says this presentation includes recording made of Florida Seminole singers in 1940 as part of a work project administration project during the Great Depression. This recording is of Laura Mae Jumper, age 8, singing a traditional children's song called Shtis Hi You Bungay, which is also in parentheses called the Bat Song, for researcher Carter Doggett Course. I mean, these names is, hey man, these people names. Either way, they'll scroll up. I'm just gonna highlight some of the songs before we get out of here. You might go look up if you're on your own time.
I'm gonna find these. I need to hear these.
Yeah, you see that. The Buffalo song. Look, literally say, matter of fact, I'm gonna go down a little bit, go up a little bit more. I'm gonna read into that part where these couple songs, I'm gonna stop right here. That's all I wanted, really. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's all I wanted. Matter of fact, Osceola's mentioned, this is important right here, this part right here. It says similar adults sang songs used in traditional ceremonies for researchers. These examples were sung for the purpose of being recorded and not in the performance of the ceremonies. A song from the Green Corn Dance, celebrated by Seminole and Miccosukee in the spring. It's this Buffalo song, was performed by Billy Bowlegs, Bearfield Johns, John Josh, Richard Osceola. Like how we know we just brought up, you see Richard Osceola, we know. And then it says Robert Osceola, Naya Tiger. It may be surprising to find song about the buffalo in Florida. While northernmost Florida was the southern limit of the range of the buffalo, in the east, before Western Europe contact, buffalo were once found in the southeast. Buffalo is also a societal group among the Seminoles. So this is an example of the song and an animal symbol that traveled to Florida with the peoples who migrated from farther north. Another example of the song from the Green Corn Dance is the catfish song. Y'all probably don't know. Y'all eat catfish from y'all in the South. Don't even know there's a song about it. Sung by John Josh and Richard Osceola. Notice the call and response style of singing that is very different from the songs of the Plains Indian tribes that are sung in unison. This is the call responsive style to singing in typical of other American Indian peoples who formerly inhabited the southeastern United States as well. For the Green Corn Dance, the drum is used is a small hand drum. Traditionally, rattles were made of coconut shells or turtle shells, but may be made of other materials today. Women may also wear small rattles tied to their legs below the knee. Then I'm gonna leave that last because FAMU, and you see, shout out to my Night Owl people. Snake Song, sung by Billy Bowleg, John Josh, Robert Osceola, and Naga Tiger, and the Horn Owl Song, sung by John Josh, are examples of songs from from the hunting dance, which was a Seminole and Miccosukee autumn ceremony. The Green Corn Dance continues to be celebrated today, but the hunting dance is no longer practiced. You got to go back to hunting, but not people, just for our autonomy. You know what I mean? We got to get to this autonomy. It's what we gathering up. I'm good on that. Once again, let's give them one more time. Dr. Dixon and Zarian, I appreciate y'all very much for pulling up on us tonight. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get out of here?
Man, thank you for all this, man. You know what I'm saying? Once again,
appreciate you.
I give thanks, bro.
And no pressure. And Dr. Dixon, real quick, before we go, we get back into the mix.
Join us. Join the movement. BlackSeminoleProject.com.
That's what it is. I'm going to thank everybody that joined us tonight. tapped in live. You watch it after. Obviously, go to the website, blackseminoleproject.com. You already know ours is at the bottom, sliding the whole time. But and obviously, Music Media Lounge, we live in the building in the mix. We about to go back into the mix. Blaze is gonna play the joint. We're gonna get out of here. We thank y'all for joining us each and every Sunday, 8 to 11, campaign mix, 8 to 9, 9 to 11, obviously guests, builds, and different things we got going on. Tap in with us. And obviously, you know what I mean, shout out to BSB, Thriller Campaign, The Harsh Reality Is, Live Life Autonomously. Shout out my boy God of Green, Super Blaze, Firebird, Baron P. And we out of here. Till next time. See us next week. Lee Cummins next week is our special guest for the Negro Question Series. Tap in with us live. You know, same time, same place. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all.
One
Y'all
love.
have a good night.
One love.
One love. Blaze. You already know what it is. The harsh reality is live life autonomously. And with that being said, we see you next week. Blaze, go ahead, get us out of here. Peace.
I said paper. Infamous Trey Ali.
I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said gotta never die, never left us. Even though they took your home, he still behind you like a catcher. Life is like a doctor, everybody want their checkup. Money, money, he been preaching, charge for a confession. See, ain't nobody focused on the bullshit that they told us. Always trying to pin you sick when ain't nobody came before us. Best part of waking up before the Folgers. That's why they want your backs against the wall like a poster. Indoctrination being sold as education. Most of history they taught you came from some imagination. Roots was never true, fuck the whole compilation. Fuck Walter Plecker, fuck Alex Hadley. America is Egypt, Israel Queen Khalifa. Babylon used to devil by NY, check my fever. Niggas think I'm lying cause they sleeping. But bitch, I ain't no fool shopping my toes every season. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. Guess I gotta start bad rapper, tell these niggas how it happened. Control is the goal, now you space like William Shatner. Technology's economy has overthrown your balance. Now your headaches come from waves, microcells up in your atmosphere. Fears how they take you, they spank you for being active and questioning all the requisites made to prevent disasters. Clearing out the churches, FEMA talking to the pastor. Got the online tithing, it's survival for the masses. They never loved our classics, but bite off our originals. Reclassify your favorite rhymes the way they did the Seminoles. I'm so black pride that my inside's purple. If the world had never died, they probably never alert you. You need to venture out and stop sticking the circle. Strength numbers react different to curfews. The movement not perfume, the streets ain't gold. Our summer so cold, we left the fall on froze. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us.
Feeling like I'm sorry. I don't need no driver's license. No. Just a beauty like a license. That the ride or die is still the show. You know they try to drown me in Lamborghini, but I'm alive, they can't bury me. Now I'm wealthy and scholarly. me. Walk on the sea like I'm JC. Now I'm doing bigger, better. I'm changing atmospheres, levitating. The meditation clears the mind. Keep it so clear. Don't you let them use you. Keep your weapon near. Celebration is the only way out here. You gotta be tired of dying and burying people out here. I know it's hard cause they shoot first. They pull up, yeah, they click clack, they do dirt. They go home, then they'll get back. But they can't bother me, nah. Cause I'm not property. This is essential. Yeah, this the mission, yeah. To be free and clear. Living off the lamp like a trillionaire. This the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares, yeah.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Bang, bang, bang. This the mission, yeah. To be free and clear. Living off the lamp like a trillionaire. This the mission. I ain't gotta care. Living on my dream and killing all the nightmares, yeah.
This could take quite a bit of time.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here Maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments tried to try with it.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
What's up, man?
Check.
Yeah, man. You hear the music?
That's it for us for tonight, man. The Autonomous Party Podcast and Mix Show.
Pardon my autonomy.
Until next week, same time, same place. You know what it is, man. Campaign Mix. Every Sunday night. Check me out right here, 8 to 9 o'clock. You know what it is, man. Don't forget, man. Check in on Mixcloud. That's where I'm at right there, early 8 o'clock. We play some regular joints.
Please don't confuse
us. 8:30, 8:45 or so, we tap in to YouTube.
Just address me
as we get all this indigenous music from right here.
In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your.
So you know what it is, man. Shout to the fam.
It's the same color the European.
Shout to the tribe. Shout to the chat. You know what it is, man. Thanks for pulling up.
28 Deuteronomy, self-determined.
Same time, same place. Next week, you know what it is, man. The Autonomous Party. We always here.
From pale faces.
I gotta bang that anthem one more time before we get out of here. Back into the mix. You know what it is, man. Shout to Music Media Lounge. Take what up.
Could take quite a bit of time.
BSB through the campaign, man. We out.
Pardon my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination, controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces. How the fuck you bummy and broke but a pale racist? My lineage free people of color with a left make each nigga. This right here Maroon, now it ain't burgundy. If you plotting murder, I'm certain that you'll need surgery. Hurt from when the burner squeeze. Protecting tribe business. Only consulting with governments tried to tribe with it. Please don't confuse us with those considered native. Semi-autonomy never was in our nature. Just address me as Esther Lusty. Wild Indian status and Cherokees riding Ruchis. In my war bonnet, if you want it, bring it to your region. And black forces the same color the European. Part of my autonomy. I know one day they'll honor me. This ain't pertaining to 28 Deuteronomy. Self-determination controlling our situation. Ain't no more indoctrination from pale faces.
Aborigines, which means what? Blackfoot. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.